Let's start with Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ye Ancient Everton Toffee House and Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop were big fan favourites. Next, they say if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire is also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles." And some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them, like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Good morning, 5 minutes past 6 o'clock. How are we? talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Build your own car deal online, all with a few clicks to make buying your next car easy. Now, different face on the breakfast. Delighted to welcome Kevin Nolan. Kev, very good morning.
Morning, Al, mate. How are you?
I'm good, looking forward to this. So, pre-season well underway.
Yeah.
With Northampton Town.
Yeah.
Tough last year, but you kept them up.
Yeah, and, that's the job what was, asked of me, which was really good. Obviously, know what I was walking into in terms of, where we were at and in terms of budget and stuff. So working really hard in the summer to get players in. 22 went out the door.
Did they really?
We've managed to get 11 in at the moment. We're still working hard to get more, it's been really good. It's been really good working hard with the, the owners and chairman and CEO and the recruitment team what we have. So yeah,
How
looking forward
difficult
to it.
is it to get people out the door? Do you have to tell them, or is it the sporting director?
Yeah, what you find probably in the lower leagues is that a lot of them are already out of contract. So yeah, so it's a decision, and sort of what I wanted is that I wanted to sort of bring a sort of freshness to the squad, to the team, to the club, and sort of start making, and putting my stamp on things with and creating an environment which what we want to do is sort of bat above our weight, Al, and
So
and
build
that's where
on
we are.
that,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Yeah,
No promises, but just building on it, so you're not fighting relegation.
yeah, exactly. We want to stay clear of that. That's the first priority, and see how far we can get up the league, and bring in players who are going to be. You sort of, when you use these sort of pre-seasons, you want to build a robustness, you want to build a teams who can, be fit and strong and can go Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, because it is, really draining and, mentally as well as physically. So, yeah, it's been tough because, you're battling against teams who have got a lot more money than you.
And it must be difficult as well when you hear the Premiership boys whinging, coaches managed with too many games with a squad of 42.
Yeah.
And there's you with 16.
Yeah, at the minute, yeah. But look, I've been at that end as well, Al, which was a great experience working under David, with West Ham for 4.5 years, and having 4.5 really good years. So I've been at that end as well. But and this is why I've dipped in this way, and I want to sort of earn my stripes now and try and build to get to where I was coaching.
How has pre-season gone so far? Who have you played?
Well, I mean, we've played we played our 5th game yesterday against West Ham under-21s, which was another good workout. But what I sort of try to do is try to use the games as more of another training day and sort of build. As I said, lads have been playing under fatigue, under a little bit of duress, and you can actually tell that, when they're making decisions and everything else. But hopefully, when we sort of start coming off them to the beginning of the season, that they're playing with a freshness and
so no trips to the Austrian forests and the Swiss forests. You're down to Clacton.
No. To be fair, we went over to Spain last week.
Did you? La Manga?
No. We were in Campo Amor, which was a fantastic destination for us. We had the exclusivity of it all too, which was great. Pool, gym, everything else. So I was really able to get my teeth stuck into the lads, and I think they enjoyed it. Although the heat was 34s plus,
really?
But they worked really hard, and it's great. It was great because obviously, as I was just saying, bringing 10, 11 new faces in, it was able to build a bit of camaraderie.
Where are these guys coming from? Are they coming from lower leagues, or are they coming from Division 1?
We've brought them from League 2, League 1. We've brought lads in from Scotland. So it's an array of different ones, but we're always forever in contact with players, trying to add to the squad and try and make it better and try and keep pushing boundaries. Really, that's what I want to do. I want to keep pushing boundaries.
Yeah. Now the Lionesses left it late again, but into a third final in a row, which is fantastic. Either Germany or Spain.
117th minute, Hemp's cross. Mead goes down, that's got to be a penalty. It is an England penalty kick with 3 minutes of extra time to go. This to put England in the final. Kelly, save! Kelly there again, it's in! England 2, Italy 1. This is just extraordinary.
Well, right away, well done. And the penalty save, they're trying to change the rules next year, aren't they? You save a penalty, the game stops.
Game stops. I think it's a goal kick then, isn't it? Well, I think the sort of saying that it'll take the encroachment out of it and everything else, where people encroaching, the goalkeeper coming off, so that it gives them sort of a bit of an advantage. But I thought when you get a penalty, it should all be in the favour of the attacking team. So I find it astounding, but they're always trying to mess about with things at the moment, aren't they?
We'll be here all day talking about it. It's job's worth, isn't it? Well, what can I do to justify my salary?
Yeah.
So England produced yet another remarkable comeback to reach the final, with a last gasp winner over Italy in extra time. Teenage striker Michel Adjiman kept England in the tournament when she came off the bench to equalise in the 96th minute of normal time. I think she's done well off the bench, hasn't she? The coach keeps bringing players on who changed things. And with a minute left in extra time, fellow substitute Chloe Kelly drilled home the rebound after a penalty was saved to send England into the final. It must be great when you've got that willing to go to the very, very last whistle, that you're still in this match. You can't give up. You can't tools down. Forget it. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, and they have both a sort of mentality and a willingness, and also a never say die attitude. Certainly in this summer, to that team. And listen, the finishes of what they like to call them at the FA. I work with the FA for 3 months, or for we've done three sort of windows, if you like, and what they call them as the finishes, and they're just as important as the starters. And what our young man guys, Chloe Kelly's been brilliant. They've been people who've come on and then changed the game, and that girl, I think she only made 4. That's I think a 4th cap and 3 goals, but important ones as well. Which are the most important, and look, delighted for them, and it's a fantastic achievement to get into the third final.
Have you got a team at Northampton or not?
We have, yeah. They done really well last year as well. Looking forward to getting to know them a lot more, because now when you get into the sort of season, you start being able to, get to know the cricket, you get to know the rugby, which have been first class cricket and first class rugby, and what I want to do is sort of mould my team into being a team who can be in League One and fighting above its station, really.
So it's either Spain or Germany in the final on Sunday, live on talkSPORT. Right, now, since Friday I was last broadcasting, a lot has happened, hasn't it? Crikey. We'll take a look at the back pages and what they're saying about the Lionesses. Also, there's some fighting talk as well from the Indians. Of course, it's Old Trafford today, so it's amazing, isn't it? Football not stops because you got the Euro ladies finals, but some of the other sport has been fantastic. The golf, Wimbledon, Formula 1 now. So there's so much going on, and before we know it, the Premier starts in Division 1, Division 2. Championship starts.
It's unbelievable, mate, but it's great, isn't it? Being able to watch all these different sports as well. But I've been busy trying to keep my head in our football at the minute. But yeah, some of the data, what's been going on has been great. Cricket's been great. Watched obviously the golf at the weekend, so yeah, really exciting, looking forward to it.
Well, coming up the show, Alex Shooter, former England bowler, Stephen Bunting. There's a bit of argy-bargy at the darts as well between Price and Gurney. Also Carl Frampton, former two-weight world champion, discussing Daniel Dubois. They're now saying it was poor preparations for his knockout loss against Usyk, or is Usyk's just too good? Plenty to come on the Sports Breakfast, 6:13. Okay, 6:17. Sad news reaches last night regarding the death of Black Sabbath star Ozzy Osbourne at the age of just 76. So in tribute, we're playing one of the great songs, one of his best songs ever this morning, Paranoid. I remember my brother, who's 7 years older than me, buying this as a single back in Glasgow in the 70s. Was it 70s or was it 60s, late 60s? But I remember, what's this? Never heard of them, you know?
Yeah.
But what a character.
Yeah, unbelievable. I remember when the show The Osbournes come out, remember that?
Yeah.
And it just changed everything, didn't it? Reality TV, so absolutely brilliant, yeah.
So Villa paid tribute to one of its famous fans, saying Osbourne always held a special connection to the club. Growing up in Aston, not far from Villa Park, Ozzy always had a special connection to the club and the community he came from. The thoughts of everyone at Villa, with his wife Sharon and family, friends and countless fans, an extremely difficult time. Ozzy's support for the club was seen last season when a giant image of the singer was displayed ahead of Villa's Champions League match against Celtic in January. Also, oh God, Big Bob Bubcar, the voice of talkSPORT Golf for me. Bob, what a shame, but we knew he wasn't very well, but what a voice Big Bob had. Hi Alan. I spoke to Tiger and he was magic. I had some great times with him at the Open because he'd come over for the Open Championships.
Right.
St Andrews, Royal St George's. And we had a bit of fun after the golf as well, back at the hotel in the bar and out for dinner. It was great. He was absolutely... He loved travelling. He loved his golf, obviously. Loved his casinos.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. A bit of whiskey.
So fitted
and a bit of
right in with you then, are you?
Well...
well, not the casino bit then, maybe.
No.
Yeah.
But Big Bob, you know, I'll really miss him, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'll miss him. He was a top man. Gutted. Right, let's look now at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business.
If I was any better, I'd be Alan Brazil.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle providing doggy daycare? Take the lead with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big three networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Shaban's with a Shaban. I don't think you knew Bob, did you?
Do you know, we spoke once on my first show on air. And he couldn't get my name out, bless him. And he was good crack about it. And he's got that voice, hasn't he? I didn't know until you just said there, Al, that he's passed away.
Voice.
The voice of golf here, and very, very sad news. And yeah, complete legend. So I had no idea. I can't believe he's gone.
Well, Rupert was telling me, you know, for a few years now he's not been himself.
Yeah.
But there was, his PA Janice used to look after him, sort everything out, flights, hotel accommodation. Great guy, great character. Really, really sad.
It is.
Right, what we got? What we got in the back pages?
Back pages is all focus on the Lionesses this morning. An incredible, again, just pure drama, Al, what they've been doing in this tournament so far.
Am I right saying they've not been playing fantastic?
You are right about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I didn't see it because I was down at Chris's all weekend. But that's what people are telling me. Said, "Wow, showed great character, but not playing well."
Brilliant character, and to be fair, on paper, I was looking at this game and thinking the Lionesses would have battered Italy, and maybe they should have, but Italy made it tricky. They were strong all over the pitch, and Boranci scored the first goal, and they looked comfortable. You know, it was the game-changing subs that did it again. So Sun Sport going for cutting it close at CHL for Chloe Kelly is the spelling there. It's quite cute. The Times is going for the Great Escape. England 2-1 over Italy at extra time. The Telegraph is focusing on Chloe Kelly comeback queens. Pride of the Lionesses is back page of the Mirror, and Michelle Ajimang Bang is back page of the Daily Mail. Ajimang Bang is back page of the Daily Mail. Her dad's called King Ajimang, what a name. And Ajimang in Ghanaian means saviour of the nation, and that's now what she's done a couple of times for the Lionesses. Kev, keen to get your thoughts on this from what you saw last night, what you've seen from Chloe Kelly in the tournament. Has she earned a start for the final?
Well, she hasn't done herself in a while, has she? I think what sort of happens in these tournaments, and now you look at it, is she's becoming an important part of being that one who comes and finishes the game, as I was just explaining to Aldi. Like to call it, not substitutes at the FA, it's all the finishes, so you're just as important as the starters. So to see them keep coming on and changing the game, I've the girls done the business just before they've come on and sort of tired the Italian defence out? Is it then about Chloe Kelly coming on with fresh legs, fresh mind, seeing what she can do, or as well as, you know, Agyemang being, you know, doing what she's done is incredible in terms of, you know, it was a massive call for Serena to take her to the Euro, so you've got to give them credit for what they've done. You know, Italy in the semi-finals, people are saying, oh, they should be winning. Yeah, on paper and everything else and what's happened in previous tournaments, Italy haven't done as well as what England have, but you've sometimes got to give credit to the opposition, and what they've done is they've always found a way.
Yeah.
And they're hoping now that, you know, when they go into the probably final, they'll probably go in as underdogs, and hopefully then they'll be able to surprise a few, because I think there's a lot of pressure on them going into this game.
Quarters, though, did say, didn't she, after the game, she says, no, we're all part of a squad, and if I'm an impact player coming off the bench, I'm happy with that.
She's saying the right things, Albert. I mean, the thing is, where would you
take the pressure off Serena not to put her in the starting 11?
And I mean, obviously going into the tournament, there's the question marks of the players who didn't go. Was there a we should be starting type mentality? Did Mary Earps have that over Hannah Hampton? She felt that she maybe should have been starting in the number one. But here we are in this situation with the subs that Serena makes. They do change the game, and Chloe Kelly has done that time and time again. But also she's got just out and out confidence in herself, you know, and if you were to make that change, I don't know if it would be then Lauren Hemp, and she's got energy like no other player I've ever seen in my life. But also the penalty that Chloe Kelly does. Did you have that routine when you would take a penalty, Al? Like,
no.
You just, how do you?
I didn't take penalties.
Never?
No.
Why not?
Because Johnny Watt never missed. Ipswich never missed. And then you go to a new club and they've got a penalty taker, so you just leave it. You don't, you know, upset the apple cart.
What about you, Kev? I mean, in terms of...
Yeah, I was the same as Al. I could take penalties, don't get me wrong. Took them in, penalty shootout, and I took one actually at Newcastle, but Shola Rami Obi at Newcastle, JJ Okocha at Bolton, and Mark Noble at West Ham. So I was always put back. I actually think now I should have been a bit more selfish. I might have got over 120 goals then, you know. League goals, you should say.
You say Big Sam to them at Bolton.
Well, he done everything else, so it would have been surprised. But
that penalty, I mean, okay, it was a rebound score last night, but the way she does this little double stamp thing, and then she... like kind of just does like this little nod.
Here we go again. Do you not remember, you know, the staggered run? That was banned for a while, wasn't it? And then they just let it go again. You know, they're useless, the lawmakers.
You're right about the rebound. I mean, that wouldn't have stood then last night, and they're thinking that's going to come into play for the men's World Cup next year. I don't see why, I really don't. Anyway, can they, who wins the other semi-final? Can Germany beat Spain? Well, they've gone down to 10 women, 10 players early on in their games, right? And they've got past the opposition. They beat France in quite dramatic circumstances. And of course,
France are decent. They beat England.
They're very, very good. So I wouldn't underestimate the Germans. They're clinical. They're efficient.
Yeah, the typical German side.
Typical German side, Kev. And you know, as my sister pointed out yesterday, they don't have an out-and-out star. Do you know what I mean? They don't have, like, you know... They all just share the look. They're a very, very efficient team. Spain, as you know, are the favourites, and England know both of the opposition well because they played Spain in the World Cup final 2 years ago, and Spain won. And then England, of course, beat Germany in the Euros, the last Euros, to win it. So either way, it's tipped to be an absolute cracker tonight. That's on live sport, talkSPORT. Sorry, Germany against Spain. That's one. Want to talk about the cricket?
It starts today.
It does indeed, the fourth test. So back page.
Can't wait for this.
Do you know what? The sport's been unreal this summer.
I think Italy will level it. I do. Italy. I think India will level it. I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I think they've been slightly better than England. Yeah, I think they're saying to themselves, "How are we 2-1 down?" I don't think there's a lot in it, but it would not surprise me, you know, if they level it.
Well, back page of the Sun today, John Etheridge saying, Gill spirit dig. India have accused England of breaking the spirit of cricket at Lord's. Skipper Shubman Gill lit the blue touch paper ahead of today's fourth test at Old Trafford by claiming England's openers walked out late to bat on the third evening. But we won that, Nido. Is that not what you won?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they were in England's batsmen's faces, weren't they? I'm like, give them a bit back.
Yeah, they did. They started giving it a bit back, but I'm sure one of their batsmen went down and had a massage halfway through one of the games when they wanted to slow it down. So I think it's all just a little bit, you know, give it to them and see if they can rile up the England, lot. But it was surprising though, because they were after, their press conference was after the England one, so Ben Stokes has not been able to come back at them yet. So it's going to be surprising though to see what he says about it.
That needle getting a lot of comments actually in the papers today as well. Mike Atherton in the Times saying expect fireworks. Needle makes the game compelling. It certainly does. It's set up for a cracker today. All of the updates coming for you here on talkSPORT.
Nice one, Shaban. Right, that was a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business. Coming up, a ton of attention. A big win for Rangers last night. Could have gone any better for new manager Russell Martin. We'll discuss that one next.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle providing doggy daycare? Take the lead with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big three networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Football fans all have stadiums we love, but do any of us have a pitch we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules behind it? Back when association football started, pitches could be 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road. Not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs had been rebels, not intentionally but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge just to adjust. Today, Forest Pitch at the City Ground is a big one, 2 metres wider than others. But the smallest of all? Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 metres wide. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too, such as Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, where the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. So UEFA have their standards, so do the FA, but they give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long, between 45 and 90 metres wide. Just imagine a pitch that's 120 metres long and 45 wide. Madness. So there you have it. There is a standard size and most teams do generally follow it. But as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. The problem with this chair, Kev, it's not working. I think it's because the hair has been in it for a couple of days, or definitely a day. talkSPORT's very own numpties, Gabby and Chunk, have been going at it over the last few days, arguing over who was the worst pro back in the football days. By the way, am I right in saying that Gabby wasn't exactly, first into training, last to leave?
Well, I've got to be honest, I don't know because I never played with Gabby, but I've heard a few rumours, but I've heard a few rumours about both. But I'm going to sit right on the fence here because I can't get involved with them two.
Really? Gabby kicked things off on Monday Drive saying Jamie had the worst attitude of all of talkSPORT's presenters during his playing days. So the Chunk got his own back yesterday when attempting to host the breakfast show yesterday morning with legendary football manager Neil Warnock.
Honestly, Gabby's got the cheek of all cheeks to dig me out, Neil, about his attitude.
He didn't have a great attitude himself, did he, Gabby? So I think
when I moved up to Birmingham, Neil, he was literally like Mr. Party Boy. He would be out, guaranteed. Bamboo, he'd have a table in there every Saturday night, whether he'd played, lost, won, done whatever. He was there, Bamboo, giving it a big one every week. He's got a cheek calling me out.
I think it's one of those things, isn't it, really? I think you're an easy target, Jamie, if I'm honest.
I'm the easy target, I know.
Because he keeps opening his big mouth, doesn't he?
You know what I love about that? What you just said, he attempted to do the breakfast show. And then secondly, how does he know that he was there every week?
Yeah, exactly. But Gabby liked a night out, didn't he? Mind you, the Chunk, he's a bit of a regular at Soho House and all that now, so he's given it large.
He's given it large now, yeah. Well, he's been on all them.
He thinks he's Chris Evans back. He's been
on all them reality TV shows, hasn't he? So.
Oh, yeah. So Gabby back in Drive yesterday reacted to Jamie's comments, seemed to be a bit lost for what. Well, we've done that, right? But Gabby responds to Jamie accusing him of being out every week as a player, whether he won or lost. Here's Gabby.
For him to name the club, he didn't say any club. He said Bamboo.
It was a great club, mate.
Bamboo good.
You had to queue up to get into the R&B room.
Yeah.
When you went toilet, you had to come back and queue up again.
Yeah, that good.
Yeah, it was good, mate. Bamboo, special place.
Right, have you got a response for Mr. O'Hara? Is it true, or you just put your hands up and say, you know what, he's got me?
Sometimes you've got to put your hands up, mate.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you got to put your hands up. We move on.
I tell you what, hands up. Dino's got the hump with Gabby. I'm not going to go in there, but Dean Saunders has got the hump with Gabby, let me tell you. We'll find out more about that tomorrow.
Show as well?
No, I don't think it was the same show.
Okay.
I think Eddie and Gabby, I don't know, I've not got the bottom of it yet, but I know Dino's raging about something. Right, we'll move on.
Was that talk?
Yeah, we'll move on. So Rangers kicked off the season last night in July with a convincing 2-0 win over Panathinaikos in a Champions League second round qualifying game. It means that Russell Martin's off to the perfect start at Ibrox. The sides will meet again on the second leg in Athens next Wednesday. I think that second goal is very important for them. Let's get more on this. A very good morning to talkSPORT reporter who was covering the game last night. Good morning to Paul Mitchell. Paul, morning.
Good morning, Alan. How are you?
Very well, Paul. That's a big result. The second goal's vital, I think, because these Greek sides at home, they can be a totally different cup of tea, different side.
Alan, if I was on here this morning talking about Panathinaikos winning 2-0 from what I seen last night, I wouldn't have been surprised at all. Jack Butland made two brilliant saves in the opening 12 minutes of the game. Rangers were really under the cosh in that first half. Came out second half, Panathinaikos on the attack, fizzled out with a poor shot. Rangers went up the other end and really were one of their first shots on target. Managed to score. The game just turned on that Finlay Curtis goal. 18-year-old boy, 6 appearances for Rangers, scoring for the first time. Took a little nick on the way through, and Ibrox just changed. Absolutely changed. The red card for 2 yellows was just daft. There was no doubt the right fullback, Janis, no idea why he challenged in the middle of the park. Second yellow, and then all of a sudden, Rangers were alive. You know what it's like. Ibrox comes alive. They've got something 1-0 up, 10 men, and all of a sudden it was a different game. Rangers could have been 2 or 3 down quite easily. And the good thing from Rangers is they took advantage of the fact they were 1-0 up, facing 10 men. They went for it, got a brilliant second goal, and arguably could have had a third.
So, Paul, we're saying here then, this game's still alive.
Oh, I think so. I mean, what was interesting, Alan, was the Greeks weren't hurrying at the end. They weren't trying to rush the ball on the field and try and get a goal back. I think they've got the measure of Rangers. I found that quite interesting. There was no panic from the sideline. It got a little bit testy at times through Russell Martin and Rui Victoria. But you just get the feeling that Panathinaikos don't think that this one's done.
Yeah, Paul, what about, so the return is next Wednesday. If Rangers are successful, how many more games have they got to play to get into the group stage? Is it one more, two more?
Well, it'd be two more, so it'd be qualifying round 3 and then the playoff round. But this is the big one, Alan, because if they fall out of this one, they go into Europa League qualifiers. Besiktas or Shakhtar Donetsk away in that Europa League qualifying, whereas it's Victoria Severn, Pleasant or Servette that await them in the next Champions League round. So arguably the path to the Champions League is a little bit easier than the Europa League group. So I think it's a big night for Rangers and Athens come Wednesday night.
Just on Russell Martin then, look, I'm not saying he's making excuses, but he's basically saying, you know, he needs to bring in some more faces, fresh faces, maybe a little bit more money's got to be spent. Have they got that money to bring in these players?
I think Rangers would be very keen to move a couple of players out to help the wage bill before they bring, players back in. Igaman, there's been all sorts of talk whether he might go. Nico Raskan, to me, is the most sellable player. I wouldn't like Rangers, if you're a Rangers fan, to lose him. I think the Belgian's terrific in the midfield. So they've got a couple of assets that they might move on. And then Russell Martin can bring in the players that he wants to come to Rangers.
Yeah. Paul, let's see what next Wednesday brings. I think it's very interesting what you say, that they weren't rushing towards the end. Maybe they feel 2-0 is certainly achievable, at least at home in Greece, in Athens. Thank you, Paul Mitchell, there covering the Rangers game last night. 2-0 to Rangers. Big result, the second goal.
Great result, yeah.
But maybe it's not over. Right, quick one. Kev, on Arsenal. Arteta set to end his long search for centre-forward. Well, here we go again. Arsenal close to agreeing a £64 million deal for Victor Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon. He's expected to sign a 5-year contract at the Emirates. Is this exactly what the Arsenal need? I also read earlier that Arteta thinks maybe they're battling 7 or 8 other teams to win the Premiership this year. I disagree with that. I think there's 4 in it. But first of all, Gyökeres, he looks decent. Do you think he can do it in the Premier, and get 20 goals plus?
Well, that's going to be the question, Al, isn't it? I think what he will bring is he'll bring that ultimate number 9, what everyone's been talking about and what Arsenal seem to have needed over the last couple of years when they fell short. I think he probably is the one who will go in and make an improvement on the team.
Because they were very close to beating PSG, weren't they?
Exactly, yeah. I think they've been, when you look at them, beating Real Madrid the way they did, and then obviously, as you say, going close with PSG, Mickey's done a real good job there. Now this is the time where he's spent a bit of money. He's probably now got the squad where he wants it to be, and this will probably be the final, well, not the final piece in the jigsaw, but the one what everybody's been talking about for the last year, well, certainly the last year or two. So it's going to be interesting. He's gone hard, he's waited, they've been patient. I don't know why it took so long to get the deal done, but I bet you he'll be pleased that when he gets it done, to get someone in who's going to lead his line, because they haven't had that in the last couple of years, and I think that's what everybody thinks they've been missing. So it's going to be interesting to see how he fits in.
So I think Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea have got to be up there.
Certainly.
And then Newcastle, would you suggest?
Well, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because Eddie's now got the Champions League to deal with, as well as being, really competitive in the Premier League and trying to be in that Champions League. That's what's going to be really interesting for me with Newcastle. Can they go into the Champions League and sort of not just see it for what it is and have a go? They've got to now be Champions League team year in, year out, so the pressure will be on Eddie, I think, and Jason up there this year. But I think they'll be okay in that team. But I don't see them as Premier League champions yet.
With Isak, they tell me he wants £300 a week. Yeah. Well, it's going to take that, isn't it? When clubs want you, you're in a great bargaining position, aren't you?
Well, it's when you're scoring goals as well, the way he scored goals.
He's tops.
Yeah, and he's probably their most influential player in terms of what he does for for winning games. The goals he scores, really, they're important ones as well, Al. You've got Bruno there as well, who's a really important factor of where they are. So look, with the money what's getting spent these days, why wouldn't he want that money?
Yeah, I agree. Right, still to come on breakfast. Here we go.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need for your landscaping project in stock and available for delivery. Terms and conditions apply.
So we're going to be reacting to a dramatic Lionesses Euro win last night, which has put them in the Sunday's final. Former WSL striker Courtney Sweetman-Kurt and talkSPORT's live football host Adrian Dunham will both join the show to describe last night's, well, incredible scenes.
They get me so frustrated, they get me so wound up, they get me so stressed out, and then they go on winning.
Former England bowler Alex Tudor will join us to look ahead to the fourth test match between England and India. Start today from Old Trafford, and we'll explain why Indian captain Shubman Gill has hit out at England. But up next, we'll get more on Newcastle with Kevin asks whether Wisa will be a good replacement for if Isak goes. All that and more to come, and that was a look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Join the club and get low trade prices. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast, 6:46. Former West Ham player, coach Kevin Nolan, Newcastle, of course, and now Northampton manager. Kev, what do you think about Everton this season under Davey? They've got to be a little bit better than surviving relegation again, haven't they?
Well, I think with the form what they shown at the back end of the season when the boss went in, I think he'll be wanting more. He'll wanting to improve the squad, which I think you've seen with the people that he's getting linked with. He'll be heavy into his recruitment right at the front of it as well. You know, we've been there with him at West Ham when, you know, he goes into great depths and great detail of who the people he wants to bring in. So, look, I think they will be. I think, you know, you're looking now, they'll have a strong season. I think being in around that mid-table. New stadium going into that. The fans, you know, I was back in Liverpool at the weekend and, you know, the stadium, everyone's raving about the stadium and how good it is. So, yeah, I mean, I think he was the perfect person to go back and take them into Bramley-Moore. So, really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to seeing him, you know, do well with Everton and get them back where they belong. We you know, and that's in the top half and the higher echelons of the Prem.
Liverpool fans, are they expecting another big one, champions again, or? I think with what they've done in the summer, it's excited them, you know, and they haven't stood still. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, obviously bringing Ekatike in, who's just finalising his sort of medical today and the next day. So with Verts, who we played against a couple of seasons ago in the Europa League, who's a player, he's a good player. So it's going to be interesting now how he settles into the Premier League and you know, and just seeing a sort of different Liverpool to what we've been used to under Jürgen, you know. So yeah, exciting times, and you know, and then with what's happened with Man City in the Club World Cup, everyone thought they were getting it together, and then all of a sudden they were out. Yeah. So I think it's going to make for an exciting season again, really. Right, it's time now for this 6:48.
Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
Yeah, I've got a bit of fixing to do after the chunk hosted breakfast now. We have something very exciting for you. Coldplay are back at Wembley this summer. We'll get a huge VIP prize up for grabs to one lucky listener. Be careful who you take, by the way. We're giving you a chance to win 6 tickets in a private box for you and your mates on August 22nd. Full hospitality plus. We're chucking in 10 grand spending money. Yes, 10 grand completely tax-free. Here's how to enter. 18 plus UK excluding Northern Ireland for chance to win. Text the word WIN win to 83338. That's 83338 by the 4th of August at 11 p.m. and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission or push your name and number to Coldplay competition, PO Box 3190 Colchester, CO2 8GP, CO2 8GP to arrive by 5 p.m. on 7th of August. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. I feel I've just read a book. And Shaban is back with us.
All right. Have you seen them, by the way?
I've just read Lord of the Rings,
Have you seen them? Coldplay live. Excellent.
Are they?
Yeah. Wow. I seen them in Glastonbury a few years back, and yeah, it was a good set. It was, yeah.
You're really married, aren't you, Kev?
I am, yeah.
Right, so if you're booking tickets to Coldplay now.
Oh, she was with me, don't worry. So
okay,
we would have been on the kiss cam, we would have been all right.
Kiss cam was classic, wasn't it? I heard you calling me out saying that I'm trying to get your man in trouble.
Who?
Coldplay guy, who, you know, the guy in the affair.
Like you don't know what state his marriage is in or her marriage, do you?
God.
Leave him alone.
I loved the duck. I did, I must admit. When he ducked out.
Did you see was it American baseball game where the kind of what they called mascots?
All right. Yeah.
Did an impression of it, like these ducking at the floor.
I haven't seen that yet. I've seen all the memes though about it. And some good ones, isn't it?
Anyway, do you want to talk about Newcastle and Alexander Isak? Because it's reported that his contract demands have been revealed amid a suggestion from a supporter that the forward trained alone on Tuesday amid continued speculation over Alexander Isak's future. So he's been the subject, obviously, of this interest from Liverpool over the summer. The Premier League champions would have liked to pay an advance of 125 million to get him from Newcastle. We understand here at talkSPORT, our Alex Crook says that Isak is reportedly looking for £300,000 a week.
Yeah,
looking for a lot of money. It's reported that he's training on his own.
I don't see, Kev. You know, you're a manager. Is that the right thing to do? You know, unless he's made his mind up and said to Eddie, "Look, I don't care what you do. I'm not playing. I'm going. I'm leaving."
I think if a player comes in with that attitude, I think that, you know, you've sort of got to make a decision for the rest of the group and the rest of the squad.
Yeah,
and that's.
Do you think that's happened? If he is training on his own,
if he is training on his own, then that might be happening. But you never know these days, Al, because, you know, they might have something which is off, you know, something to do with family, anything else, with personal reasons, and they've given him a little bit of time to sort of be off for 3 or 4 days. He's come back, and then they're sort of slowly reintegrating to the squad, because that's what goes on a lot in these days now as well.
Harry Maguire's just flew back to United, whatever they are, and we don't know what's happened there.
Yeah, because he got left behind, didn't he? And I think he was following on. So these things happen, and so there's a lot on because of all the speculation surrounding him. It doesn't make it
300 grand seems a hell of a lot, but you know, that's what the top players in the world get now.
So should they be doing everything to keep Isak happy?
Well, if they want to keep him, yes.
I think if you got the majority of Newcastle fans on, I think they'd be saying, yeah, we want to keep him and we'll pay him.
Yeah.
Pay him the money, because, you know, they've got these, you know, the owners now, the backers, and, you know, are you going to find another Isak? You know, they're talking about Visser, but I'm not too sure that he probably gets the goals and becomes that number 9, because it's different, and there's no disrespect to Brentford here, but it's different playing at Newcastle and being the number 9 at Newcastle than it is at Brentford. You know, there's an expectation there, and I don't really want to have a go at the Brentford and have the Brentford fans having a go at me, but it's a big difference.
Yeah, just to bring you the latest on that, Newcastle set to make an opening bid for Johan Visser in excess of 30 million. We understand here at talkSPORT. Spurs are also keen, but Brentford would rather keep Visser and quoted Forest £50 million. I mean, could you see Newcastle paying 50 million for Visser? And if they did get him, is he enough to kind of make you challenge for a Premier League title race or top 4?
Well, I mean, that's the question then, isn't it? Because when you're going in then to not only sort of take the number 9 shirt, which is obviously the historic history behind it all, you're going in to replace Isak, who's one of the fans' favourites.
It's got to be alongside Isak.
Yeah,
it's got to be alongside Isak, not replace him.
Exactly. I think that will help him if he is alongside Isak.
But you don't think he's good enough to replace Isak?
He'll do all right, but they're not going to challenge for the Premier. Not for me. Yeah,
I agree with Al in that. I think
Isak is special.
I think if they lose Isak, I think that's a major blow to Newcastle and where they're trying to go if they're trying to get to that Premier League and win it.
Do you think that what do you think about Newcastle as a prospect at the moment for a player, say going to the club? I mean, they've missed their main targets who they wanted this summer, Ekitike and Mbeumo. Why do you think that is, Kev? Is it the situation with the director of football? They've not replaced Paul Mitchell yet?
Well, I think that there's probably a few cases here, or few arguments really. I think they're probably, when clubs know that you've got a bit more money for when you get through the PSR and you've got a bit more money to spend, they want to take a bit more money off you so that they can earn a bit more. So I think that's probably down, and you sort of have your valuation in your head as a manager, as a club. And I think sometimes they haven't been willing to go to that valuation. So it's going to be interesting for the next 4 or 5 weeks to see where Newcastle and Eddie go, because they need obviously reinforcements, because they're going into the Champions League and they have the Premier League to deal with. So they've got to be competitive in both. They've got to be in the top 4 come the end of the season, and they've got to have a real good run in the Champions League. And they're going to need to add to that squad to make it easier, because as you've just said, it's not going to be easy this year.
No.
Jamie O'Hara said this yesterday as to why players might not want to go to Newcastle.
Foreign players will choose London over Newcastle every time.
Well,
they will, Dean. They will.
Well, they might do, but
you know that's true. And whether that's right or not, Newcastle are a great football club. But you have other situations that come into effect. with, you know, wives, children, where they want to be. Newcastle is geographically what is a little bit of an issue for them because they're up north, and
maybe the families. It might come into it with the families. The wives might say, "Well, all right, I'll come to London, but I ain't going to Newcastle. I'll come to London. It's a bit easier to get home, easier for people, my family, to come and see me." You know, it's maybe, but not from a playing point of view. You just go for the best team. Going to win trophies, playing with the best players.
That's why they signed for Liverpool.
Jamie and Dino yesterday.
Well, Kev, look, if it's Arsenal, you know, Chelsea maybe, although Chelsea's squad now is incredible, maybe. But if you know, there's other clubs in London as well that it's a no-brainer. You go to Newcastle instead of them.
So you don't go based on the city?
Well, Newcastle's a great place to live.
Yeah,
unbelievable place to live. I love my time up there. Don't get me wrong. I moved from Newcastle to London. I went from one to the other. From Liverpool when I was at Bolton. Never ever really seen myself moving out of Liverpool if I was honest, but you could happily live up there quite easily.
Do you think players do think like that in today's day and age, Kev?
No, I think that there's a bit of a myth around it, to be honest, with Newcastle. I think because you think, oh, the way up there, but it's a beautiful place to live, you know, and the fans adore you, and if you get it right and everything else, it's, you know, it's one of the best places to
I'd love to
be.
know the last time the Chunk was in Newcastle, by the way.
Well, he'll probably
won't be going back anytime soon.
By the sounds of it, him and Gabby were in the nightclub.
Up there? I guess Newcastle, I don't think so, has he?
Bless him.
Right, Shaban, thank you. Now, after a thrilling victory against Italy, England versus the winner of Spain, Germany in the Women's Euro final is live. Don't forget, talkSPORT on Sunday at 5 p.m. You can hear the second semi-final talkSPORT tonight. 03717 223344. Give us a call this morning. Have you seen England's latest recovery? Was it ever in doubt? Will luck run out on Sunday? Let us know this morning as we speak to former Liverpool forward Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, who's out in Switzerland. That's coming next.
From the Toffees to the Tractor Boys, the Eagles to the Seagulls, Gunners, Bees, Hammers and Magpies, Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Let's start with Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ye Ancient Everton Toffee House and Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop were big fan favourites. Next, they say if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire's also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell, and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles," and some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them, like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with the Arnold Clark app. Buy a car and opt in to Arnold Clark Rewards to enjoy access to great giveaways and everyday perks. Former Bolton, Newcastle, West Ham captain Kevin Nolan with me. Now on the way for you this morning, we're going to begin the build-up to day one of the fourth test between England and India. Should be a cracker. The need is already underway with Shubman Gill claiming England defied the spirit of cricket at Lord's last week. More on that later. Dart star, big Liverpool fan, Stephen Bunting will join us following victory over Gary Anderson at the World Match Play last night, where he also narrowly missed a 9-darter. Plus, we'll continue the Dubois Partygate debate, where Carl Frampton, his trainer Don Charles, came out fighting yesterday, and we'll pay tribute to rock icon Ozzy Osbourne with Ian Danter this hour following his passing, age 76. Also, we got to mention Joey Jones.
Yeah.
Poor Joey, yeah. No age at all.
No. Sad time, mate. Yeah, for the whole of Liverpool, you know, and obviously big player for Wrexham as well, and won Wales. So
Wales.
Yeah. Sad.
No doubt Dino will have some nice things to say about him tomorrow. Now, the England women made a third consecutive major tournament final, and it was live on talkSPORT.
At one stage, it looked like the dream had died, but England start the night in Geneva, just 2 games from glory. Torres cross, Bonansea, back post is scored! She's rifled it into the top corner! What a moment for Italy! But such sloppy defending from England!
So poor defending from England, which you've seen time and time again this tournament.
Well,
doesn't this just sum up England at these Euros?
Lauren Hemp with an in-swinging cross. Lee gets to it. And Jurang is there. Can she put it in? She does! The comeback queen has done it!
What drama on talkSPORT, just when you think you've seen it all. This England team, honestly, they're aging me.
Mead goes down. That's got to be a penalty. It is!
This to put England in the final. Kelly, save! Kelly there again. It's in! England 2, Italy 1. This is just extraordinary. And England are one step away from making history again. And football could still be coming home again. England 2, Italy 1.
Yeah, England found themselves behind until the 96th minute, but teenage striker Michel Adjimang stepped up and hit a dramatic equaliser to take the game to extra time before Chloe Kelly fired the Lionesses into yet another final at the end of 120 minutes. They'll play the winners of Spain-Germany. Should be a cracker tonight, which is live on talkSPORT 2. After the game, England midfielder Ella Toon was asked by talkSPORT just why they keep having to come from behind.
I mean, I don't know why we put ourselves in that situation in the first place, to be honest. We'd rather get it done in 90 minutes, but, you know, sometimes football's not the way you want it to be, and there's, you know, things that are in the way. And, I mean, we've got that belief in the squad that no matter how late in the game that someone can come on and make an impact, someone come on and change the game, and you've seen that numerous times this tournament. And you know, we have that attitude where we never think we're down and out. We always think we can have that one moment and make it count, and we did that tonight. And yeah, we showed that passion, belief, that togetherness that we always do, and yeah, we worked our socks off. So we're absolutely delighted to be going into our third final in a row, something we should be really proud of.
Yeah, believe it or not, Kev, last night, by all accounts, was the 7th time in a row that England's women and men's team have fallen behind in tournament knockout games, a run stretching back to Lionesses' World Cup final defeat to Spain in 2023, and including games against Spain, Netherlands, Switzerland, Slovakia for the men last summer. Whoa. I wouldn't want to do that again if it is Spain who go through, because Spain keep the ball really, really well.
Yeah, I mean,
that'll be a different kettle of fish, I think.
It will be, Al, yeah, definitely. You know, Spain who beat them in the World Cup, I think it was a year or two back now, and they're a side, a really good side. They've probably been the side of the tournament as well to watch and everything else. So, no, England won't want to be playing catch up with them. But look, you've got to hats off to them. You've got to admire what they've done, you know. And
by the way, they're doing something right in Spain at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah,
men's,
women's, even the youth teams. Al, you
really?
know, yeah, you know, there's a sort of. A pamphlet what they're going off, if you like. There's a DNA throughout the whole of the Spanish FA which they're all working to, and I think, you know, it was quite interesting because the team who've just won the last Euros, and he was the under-21s manager, you know, and worked with a lot of them lads and a lot of the under-21s lads, and he promoted them and left a lot of big names out of the Spanish squad in the last tournament. So really interesting. But yeah, you know, hats off to Spain. They get it right, you know, majority of the time, don't they, with what over the last 10 years, 12 years, even going back, you know, they've been incredible.
John is now live from beautiful Geneva, talkSPORT's Lioness correspondent Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. Courtney, a very good morning. Another incredibly exciting finish.
Yeah, good morning to you both. It's my heart rate. I can't keep taking this, so I'm on the side of Ella Toon. I don't know why they're making it as difficult as they are, but no, another brilliant night. Obviously, everyone in the stadium, as the fans, the players as well. Obviously, afterwards, I get the pleasure of being in the flash zone and doing the interviews, and obviously they were absolutely delighted. But yeah, it's certainly been hard work to watch at times, this tournament.
Do you know what, Courtney? We were talking about Serena Wiegman, about, you know, has she lost, you know, some of the players in the squad, but her substitutions at the time she said, right, let's change it, have been amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, she hasn't, and I think it's difficult, isn't it, because a lot of people are clambering maybe for a different starting 11, for more substitutes, for earlier substitutes, but the thing is, you know, it keeps working for her. and you know, there's sort of a motto that goes around in Serena, we trust. Now that's another major tournament final that we've got to. That's the third in a row. You know, the World Cup, the Euros that we won, and this Euros this time round. And she's always an incredible stat I've seen this morning as a manager of an international side. She's always got to a major tournament final in every competition she's been in, which is incredible. So yeah, I mean, you know, football's about opinions, isn't it? And that's why we all love it, to put our 2 pence in, and obviously everyone thinks in different ways about who should be starting, who shouldn't, but invariably she seems to be getting it right with the substitutions, and they're coming on. And I think I said it to her yesterday in the interview, you're making the substitutions, but obviously they're coming on and doing their job, and then scoring the goals and dragging us back out of it.
So, Courtney, okay. Do you think now then that she's going to be under pressure now to make a few more changes? She made a big call, didn't she, on Tuesday night? So is she going to make another big call? Will Michelle come in? Will she be one who starts? Because she's still only a rookie, isn't it? It's a big call if she does that. Obviously, Chloe Kelly, who's been magnificent in previous tournaments and also in this, but they've done it being impact and being them finishes. So where do you see it?
It's an interesting one, because you're right. I think especially Chloe Kelly's the one that I was like, she has to go and start. She has to. She's got that experience. She almost, not single-handedly obviously, but that goal, that iconic goal that sort of won us the Euro. She's had a fantastic back end to the season in terms of Arsenal winning the Champions League. So Michelle Agerman is, you know what, probably before now I would have said, sort of agree with you in terms of lack of experience, young player, but everything that she's done so far in this tournament, you look at it and think, why not start her? But I suppose now on the flip side of that, it's Spain for me, the best team in the world. It's going to be really difficult. But what I was impressed with Michelle and the meetings I've had with her and having the pleasure to interview her is she is so mature for her age. She's so calm. Even yesterday, in terms of obviously the big goal that she scores, and now everyone else is bouncing around, and obviously she's very happy, but I think she's also sort of very calm and composed. So knowing what I know in terms of following this side for a long time with Serena Wiegmann, I can't see big changes, big surprises. So I would personally like to see Chloe Kelly start, but I think we're probably going to see a very similar starting 11 to what we saw last night.
So, Courtney, just finally, if it is Spain in the final that England face, they don't want to go behind to Spain, because Spain keep that ball beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely not. The times I've watched them this tournament, they are scary good, especially in and around the box in the final third. How precisely, how quickly they move the ball. And you're right, you don't want to give them a chance, because the difference is probably with Spain that, you know, compared to a Sweden, for example, or in Italy last night, if they go 1, they'll get 2, they'll get 3. They don't take their foot off the gas in any capacity. So we need to have a fast start. We can't rely on bringing subs on to come and save the day, because if we're in that position, I think that, you know, we'll be coming home with a runners-up medal. So a big start, a fast start is really imperative for England in the final, whoever it may be. And I think, don't discount Germany, by the way. Fantastic performance by then in terms of in the quarter-final to get through 10 players, but still the way that they battled to get there. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to tonight's final.
Courtney, nice one. Enjoy the semi-final tonight. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk there, just on the shore there, Lake Geneva, beautiful part of the world.
Look lovely, didn't it? The backdrop there.
I know Geneva is beautiful. By the way, you know what I mean. You want to be on expenses there. You don't want to be spending your own money.
Oh no! Pre-season, we always had expenses from the club. That's what's a good thing.
€20 to sneeze. England versus the winner of Spain, Germany in the women's Euro finals, live on talkSPORT this Sunday 5 p.m. Don't forget 5 o'clock. You can hear that second semi on talkSPORT 2 tonight. Right, talkSPORT's Angelina Kelly caught with a few ecstatic fans outside the stadium in Geneva.
I've got an England fan here with me. I've got a few England fans. Coming home! It's coming home! I've got an England fan here with me. What's your name?
Emily.
Emily? Come on! England are in another final. Talk me through your emotions in that game. Wasn't it crazy?
It was crazy. For me, I literally flew out this morning, and I've been to like the last Euros, done the whole Euros for the last one, the whole of the World Cup. It's the first time I've actually not been able to do the full Euros this year. So coming here today, I was like, I want us to get through to the final. It's been a long day for me. I was up at like 4 a.m. to get here, all the emotions.
Worth it?
100%, always. And I say trust the process, always trust Serena. Michelle, unreal.
What were your emotions? Did you always think she was going to get a goal?
Yeah, so for me, Michelle's an Essex girl, so I always back her. And I even like saying I'm a bit superstitious who I get on my shirt, because I always wait to the end of the tournament. But now I'm like trying to go to find a shop to get her name on the back before the final, because I got full confidence in her. So yeah, it's a brilliant game.
There you go. Full fans delighted. Coming up, we're going to turn attention to boxing. Was Dubois underprepared for the fight against Usyk? Ooh, was he not ready? The debate has been ongoing in talkSPORT, and we'll hear from his promoter Frank Warren. That's coming next. .20 now after Daniel Dubois lost in the fifth round to Usyk on Saturday. He came in for a heavy criticism from former heavyweight boxer Tony Bellew. Tony claimed that Daniel doesn't look like he wants to be in the ring and that he could have made the count after being knocked down if he wanted to. Crikey. But Dubois' promoter Frank Warren joined Drive yesterday and hit back on Tony.
Well, Tony Bellew's been a hater from day one with Daniel. He got knocked down twice. You know, in one hand, everybody's saying Usyk's a modern-day great. What great punches he threw. And on the other hand, saying why didn't he stand up after getting caught with these two phenomenal punches, which he did after one of them, got up and got knocked down again. What do you expect? The referee counted him out. He walked back to the corner. That was it. Why did he walk back to the corner? Well, where is he supposed to go after the referee stops? Go to a neutral corner or go to Usyk's corner? What planet are all these people on? You know, it's just so pathetic. I find it. Sometimes I look and hear what people are saying, and I just find it baffling.
There you go, Frank Warren hitting back at Tony Bellew. You know Tony very well, don't you?
Yeah, no, Tony. Yeah,
it's interesting. Listen, I'll talk about it later. I was at Chris Evans' big, massive charity raise gig in the Garden, which was fantastic.
Yeah,
and that was Saturday, Sunday. So it was. I never got to watch the fight, which I was gutted. I will I'll watch the rewind, but so I don't really want to comment when I've not seen it, but. Frank's adamant here that, you know, let's not forget Usyk is a true champion.
Oh yeah, he's one of the greatest ever to live in my eyes. You know, on what I've seen, you know, to be able to step up to the heavyweight division, not be, you know, I'm going to beat Tyson Fury, you know, twice. You know, Anthony Joshua. Now he's done Daniel twice, and sometimes you've just got to look at the opponent and go, he was better than him on the night, everything, and not sort of look for excuses. And I think that's what sort of Frank's saying there. You know, Daniel's gone in, he was prepared, he was ready, like he had done for previous fights. But Alexander Usyk was just better on the night. Has been better in every fight he's had as a professional.
So, Kev, before we talk about preparing, because there's a lot of rumours flying around, Tony Bellew was telling you after he lost to Usyk, he said, this guy throws punches from places that you're just not used to.
Yeah, he just said, you know, because, you know, for the first half of the fight, I thought, you know, Tony was way in it. And then he said he wakes people out. You know, the intelligence of the man in the ring is incredible. And he's always talked them up, Tony, whenever you spoke with him. And so for me, you know, speaking to him after that fight, you know, and hearing him say that, he just said, yeah, he hit you when you're not expecting it, from places where you wouldn't be expecting it, and where you can't sort of, you know, pre-train fight for it. So, look, he's a special fighter. Very, very special fighter. He's done it now, you know, heavyweight, cruiserweight. So it's incredible to see and to watch him, how he trains and everything else. So sometimes you just got to go, hats off. This fella's just top.
And people are saying Daniel's preparation, his dad threw a party, but he did that in his last fight, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I look, Daniel's not daft. You don't go in the ring with Usyk if you're not prepared properly, surely.
No, and I don't think he did. I'd be, you know, I think he'll probably be disappointed that that's been leaked, if you like. He'll come out, you know, because these are all fighters at the end, and they all want to go in. Sometimes you're not feeling your best on the night. He might not have been feeling the best on the night, and, you know, to protect him, but as you've just said, that it's something they've previously done. So, you know, he probably that didn't knock him off in his previous fight, so why would it in this one? As I say, you know, sometimes it's just a hats off to the opponent, and I think that's what probably Daniel has to do.
Right, it's time to get an update on the Qatar Airways Lions Tour in partnership with Tenor Men.
Qatar Airways Lions Tour Roundup on talkSPORT, with coverage sponsored by Tenor Men. Upgrade your protection with Tenor Men. Find out more at tenormen.co.uk.
And our host for the Lions Tour, Shabana Hearn, is back with us. Shaban, look, it wasn't fantastic against Pacifica, but still unbeaten.
Do you know what? I actually thought it was the warm-up we never knew we needed, because going into this game after the first test, obviously, on Saturday, you're looking at the amount they've been playing, the amount of travel they've been doing, you're thinking, right, come on now, they're 1-0 up, they could use a bit of a rest, but this had been in the diary for a long, long time. The Pacifica and First Nations team, they were put together with 3 or 4 days to make it work, and they certainly roughed up the Lions. It was a really good performance. Lions go on to win at 24-19. Multiple changes again in the side, and of course Owen Farrell was the captain, which was the talking point going into the game. It always will be when Owen Farrell's involved. A really solid performance. The first 4 minutes he's in about it. They're in a bit of a scuffle, and Andy Farrell was asked about his son's performance after the game.
How do you think he played?
Yes, you.
Aye. Some good things, obviously. Nice little chip off the left peg.
some nice touches on the ball as well, but always work-ons, Mary. There's always work-ons.
So yeah, I mean, they were sitting next to each other in that press conference when he was asked about him.
That's not easy, is it, when your boy's there?
I think that was the first.
But we've got to give credit to Owen Farrell. He's been fantastic for England, fantastic for the Lions. You know, I didn't really get the uproar when he was actually called up either, because he would have, you know, been, you know, the intelligence of the lad. He's been a leader going into it. He would have known his sort of role within the squad, and he would have, you know, led, you know, from behind the scenes as well, and helped a lot of them, you know.
Well, his dad's done the right thing, hasn't he?
Yeah,
you know, it's injuries that got him called up.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've got no problem whatsoever with that.
Because he's been a year out, though. That's where obviously the criticism has come.
Yeah.
But I think people after the tour, I think people will be going, what a decision it was.
They're still playing top class rugby.
Yeah.
Shaban, you mentioned there about there was maybe one game too many, whereas I've heard a lot of complaints about the Aussies not playing enough games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had a little holiday, didn't they? They're a week away with their wives and stuff like that. They're saying, we've hardly played anyone.
Well, that's the thing about the Wallabies. They were all there at the stadium last night watching the game. So what they can take away from it is, I think, that maybe they'll be a bit more physical on Saturday. I mean, they didn't offer much in the first test. They certainly come back into it. The second half was a lot stronger and gave the Lions, I think, something to think about in that second half. So maybe we'll see more of a physical side from the Wallabies. Of course, they're looking at the likes of the players who are missing, Skelton, etc., who might be back in for this second test. We're going to hear the team news coming out in the next 24 hours. But I mean, Farrell's in all the papers today in terms of the Lions. Has he now put his hand up and made himself to be selected for the test on Saturday? I mean, I'd put him in the squad after that performance. The thing is then who do you put him in over? And then also the nepotism conversation comes up again. I mean, if your son, your kids play football, right, Kev?
Yeah, my boy plays at Forest, yeah.
So if your boy's at Forest and then you're working there and you get the opportunity to make him captain, do you do it?
Yeah, because, you know, it's what he's done. I've just said before, Owen Farrell's been an absolute unbelievable player. He still is. You know, he's a captain, he's a leader. There's a reason why I think, you know, everyone's just spoke so highly of him when they've been asked about Owen Farrell coming into the camp.
Mm-hmm.
He knew everything what was going on. So, because he'll know his dad inside out. So sometimes you've got that trust within father and son. And Andy plays it really down, doesn't he, in the press conference? Oh, well, you know, he's got a lot of work on at the end. But I think when you look at his performance last night, there's no reason why he shouldn't be in the squad for the
interesting to see who he plays.
Yeah.
Who he's 15 now.
Well,
so
yeah, that's it. We'll hear tomorrow morning on Breakfast Al with you. McCarthy and Hansen in the back pages today. They might be struggling with their fitness. Also Darcy Graham, sad yesterday because he scored a wonderful try. All the Scottish lads around him, you know, they're picking him up, embracing him, and then a few minutes he limps off with an injury, so it looks like he'll be heading home, and he was in floods of tears. It was a real shame. Henry Pollock, outstanding yesterday. One of those players who just doesn't care. He picks on the biggest guy. Him and Uru going at it. Pure entertainment, and he's just fearless. That's good to see as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Don't forget the Lions second test is live and exclusive on talkSPORT Saturday morning. Our very own Shaban hosting the coverage. Can the Lions seal the series? Find out this Saturday only on talkSPORT. That was thanks to Tenormen.
Qatar Airways Lions Tour Roundup on talkSPORT with coverage sponsored by Tenormen. Upgrade your protection with Tenormen. Find out more at tenormen.co.uk.
Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were absolutely sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money, but instead of entering league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. Think of it like the Harlem Globetrotters of football, and it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil, and the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest clubs in Brazil.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Build your own car deal online. All with a few clicks to make buying your next car easy. Kevin Nolan with me. Right, football fans have hailed a historic moment for English football after a bill to establish an independent football regulator became law. The Prime Minister said the bill was a proud and defining moment for English football and will usher in a stronger, fairer future for the game, as well as improving financial sustainability across the football pyramid. The regulator will also stop clubs from joining breakaway competitions like the attempted European Super League proposal in 2021, which was roundly condemned by fans. One man who doesn't think so, however, and I'm with Simon here, I don't think this will make a bit of difference, is the very own Simon Jordan, who tore into the idea of an independent regulation yesterday morning. Have a listen to Simon.
I think it's ridiculous.
Why?
Because I think that we've got arguably the most successful pyramid in domestic football in the world, and yet we see fit to introduce an independent regulator because our own governance isn't sufficient enough, and so the rest of the leagues around the world must be looking at the financial success of this remarkable set of circumstances, including the EFL, and looking at it with absolute bemusement at what the English are doing. The budget for it is laughable. If you think you're going to police 72 EFL clubs and 20 Premier League clubs with a budget of £10 million as a regulator, when you look at any of the regulators that exist, the ramifications of it, yes, the fans think it's great because they think that ultimately the idea of the tragedies that happen at certain football clubs, like the difficulties at Morecambe, the difficulties at Reading, the difficulties at Derby, the difficulties at football clubs,
Bury going out of business,
and Bury, right, and circumstances like that are going to be counteracted by an independent regulator. I can tell you that no industry that's governed and regulated is a good industry.
I'm with Simon, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I think here we go again. The government have come up with something that's like, what?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I think now what he said there is just totally agreeable, because how can they regulate all them clubs with that budget?
No. I was like, what's this about? You know, I was expecting some, fantastic, great new idea, but then again, it's Mr. Starmer, with the greatest respect. Kev, you of course manage Northampton Town. You've got to manage with the pot of gold you have. You can't suddenly spend money you haven't got, can you?
No, and I think that there's a certain degree where I think the chairman now are coming together within the EFL, and they're sort of trying to govern it themselves and try and bring something in, because it can't be sustained with what's going on at the minute.
Should you be getting more money from the top guys, the Premier League?
I think the Premier League. They what they see is that they want to give you they give enough money to us at the minute, but what they don't want to see is then teams like Morecambe Red and using that to go and then spend money on players and give a lot of money to players. And I think what I've noticed in the 6 months I've been back in the job from where I was when I was at Notts County a few years ago is that the money now in what's being paid is incredible for these lads. And what we've got to do is we've got to make sure that we'll be able to sustain that. And at this moment in time, speaking with my owners and my chairman, it's going to be really difficult for a lot of clubs to be able to sustain it. So they're trying to work on that and trying to do it so that there is a sort of governance in terms of how much money should be spent in these leagues. Because I think probably on average now in League One, you're looking at probably a £6.5 million budget.
Yeah.
Which is incredible to think. When where we're at, so we've got to be really careful. We know that these clubs who are sort of when you say they're having a go and they're giving these lads contracts and the money what they're giving, that we don't get carried away and we're losing clubs because of that, because they're not being able to sustain it.
Wrexham and Birmingham were the big owners.
Yeah, who've been able to do it. And they've given money to players and big money. And it's going to be a real test for them in the Championship this year, because they've had to sort of try and start coming in within the PSR rules, and so it's really interesting, when you do get that promotion. But you've got to look at all the sides who don't get the promotions, who don't get the where they want to be. Can they keep sustaining it? And that's the question. What needs to be? Yeah, because a lot of them have done it. A lot of them have done it all.
Right, sad news reached us last night about the death of Black Sabbath superstar Ozzy Osbourne. Also Joey Jones as well. We've got to have read that. One of Birmingham's favourite sons, Ozzy, has passed away aged 76, who was largely responsible for inventing heavy metal music. Less than just 3 weeks ago, Ozzy performed a farewell concert at Villa Park, supported by many of the musicians he had inspired, including Metallica and Guns N' Roses.
Uh-huh.
So we put together a Black Sabbath montage to pay tribute to the great man. Well, a man who joins us now to help pay tribute to Ozzy is someone who'd love to be banging the drums in that band, of course. Our man from Birmingham, but he's a blue nose. Ian Danter. Dance, morning.
Morning, Alan. Morning, Kevin.
How are you, mate?
Oh, you'd be drumming away there, enjoying that music.
Mate, I used to play in a Black Sabbath tribute band for a while. It was like a comedy Black Sabbath tribute, bit of pantomime involved, but it meant you had to play the songs properly, and Sabbath songs are always great fun to play. And yeah, what a very sad loss so soon after the Back to the Beginning concert that was held at Villa Park, where the original members of Sabbath got together one last time to play.
Yeah. I remember being on stage or backstage with a mountain of cans of lager, the Gillan band, Ian Gillan, who was Paul Mariner's mate, And that was fantastic, that was. It was absolutely brilliant. Of course, you can't see, dance, you would know this, you can't see the crowd, you know, you just feel this heat coming off the crowd. And he was giving it large. All right, boys. Yeah, it was magic. But I've never really been into my heavy, you know, that sort of music, to be honest. But if you go there and experience it, you know, you can easily get involved, can't you?
Ozzy is responsible for it. That whole genre. Him and Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler-Bill Ward, Black Sabbath. You know, they changed their. They were called Earth. It was the late '60s. They changed their name to Black Sabbath, which was an old Boris Karloff film. They saw the title outside a cinema and thought they'd change the name. And then, because they grew up in Aston, sort of post-war Aston, which was, you know, still war-torn, still lots of buildings that had been destroyed in the Second World War, it was a pretty bleak place to grow up. And they started writing these songs that were not just bleak, but also, you know, terrifying. Black Sabbath, the song, was designed to be terrifying because it used these three notes that were known as the Devil's Triad, which in the Middle Ages, you know, was the most terrifying thing you could hear, and that was what they based their music on. And you know, it worked, didn't it? Because look at the millions of albums they sold. But it was all about the riffs and the real heaviness of the guitarist and the drums. But Ozzy's vocals, he wrote all those melodies, Alan. They sat on top and they gave it a real accessibility, which is no mean feat. Brilliant stuff.
And Dance, you mentioned Tony there earlier, who started with Ozzy. I think he's a big pal of Andy Townsend.
Yeah, well, Tony and Andy, they're thick as thieves, those two. Tony's and Andy lived very close to each other when Andy lived in the Midlands. You know, not far from where the likes of Trevor Francis lived, and George Harrison had a place around there, and Jeff Lynne from Electric Light Orchestra lived around there. Wow. They're all very, very close.
So we're not talking council houses here, are we?
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, Tony will be absolutely devastated this morning to have lost his friend, you know, so soon after this tribute concert, which was a huge rip-roaring success, where all these bands, as you mentioned, came along to pay tribute, like Anthrax and Metallica and Slayer and Pantera, and all these bands you could clearly tell were directly influenced by what Ozzy did with Black Sabbath. So, you know, to lose him so soon after is a dreadful shame, but an incredible icon of music. That, you know, truly a one-off, Ozzy.
Dance, just a quick one on Blues, Birmingham City. You got to be excited. What's happening?
Well, you know, as Kevin will tell you, we bought the league last year.
I was just saying, Dance. I was just saying, mate.
Yeah, I know, but we've made some really good signings in this window. Kyogo Furuhashi, who you'll know, Alan, from Celtic. What a great signing that is to bring in.
Yes.
Having spent a short spell in France. Tommy Doyle on loan from Wolves is a great loan signing. Bright Asaya Samuel. We've signed players in positions I thought we needed strengthening in. So, but the proof of the pudding's against your boys Ipswich a couple of weeks on Friday, Al, when it all gets going. It's not going to be straightforward as it seemed to be for us in League One. I'd love to think we could get into the playoffs, but this championship chews you up and spits you out if you let it. So we've got to attack it.
Nice one, Dance. Thank you, Ian Danter there. He loves his music. Plays drums in a Kiss tribute band. Oh yeah, he loves it. For more tributes to the brilliant Ozzy Osbourne, check out the Sun newspaper. Some great photos and tributes in there of the legendary musician. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Alan Brazil. Former Newcastle and West Ham midfielder, Northampton boss Kevin Nolan. Coming up 7:45, travel time. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Me, Alan Brazil, and absolute Bartley's man, Kevin Nolan. What's this absolute Bartley's man?
Absolute what?
Bartley's man. What's that about? I'll find out. Some of the headlines you're waking up to this morning. The Lionesses came from behind once again to make a third consecutive major tournament final. They beat the Italians 2-1 after extra time. They left it late again. But they will now face either Germany or Spain, who are the most people's favourites. India's Shubman Gill has lit the blue touch paper ahead of the fourth test up at Old Trafford as he slated England's sportsmanship at Lord's last week. talkSPORT will keep you updated over the next 5 days. Live commentary for overseas listeners on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. Looking forward to that. And following the completion of his £71 million transfer from Brentford to Man United, former Villa striker Gabby Bunlar told Drive he's no doubt Mbeumo will be a success at Old Trafford.
He works hard.
Yeah, he does that.
Do you know what I mean? He can score any sort of goal. He can score from the ends of the box. He can chop back onto his right and then finish. He can make them runs in behind that Salah makes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's got everything you want in a forward. Him and Wissa were outstanding together. I'm sure Wissa will be looking for a move as well. But when I watch Mbeumo, I see a player that is going to give you everything week in, week out.
That's it, I think. That's the big thing in it.
Exactly.
So the big question is, what does Gabby know about working hard, Kevin? So I'm going to probe you again, Kevin. You've been speaking to ex-players who played with Gabby. He said he was the laziest, unprofessional footballer going. Used to hide in pre-season, right? But always out and always a little
that
niggle.
Was Jamie O'Hara, that wasn't me.
A little niggle, and he's like, oh, I'm out for 3 weeks. What does he know about working hard? Right, for more on all today's biggest stories, head over to talksport.com. The staying with transfers. It's time to get in the mood for love. Kev, I still want to know what this Bartley's thing was. We're going to do some matchmaking, but it's time for this.
Stick a load of singles in there and then they fall in love.
Of course it's hard. It's supposed to be hard.
A 36-year-old, you'll have the knockers, you will.
Just because it's offering its teat, do I really have to muscle on that?
Is there anything in your personal life that could be causing you stress, sir?
I'm not a great lover.
Hello. Oh. What's your name?
Sarah Louise.
Sarah Louise. Crikey, you're up for it, aren't you?
You know, I was in love at the time. That's what I was doing.
At the time?
7:52. Right, what you got?
I must say, just before, I loving the colour coordination.
Do you like it?
You know, the
oh, right, I match everything.
Yeah.
It's part of the thing. It's been a while.
No, you don't.
I do. You always say it. You always
You come in with dungarees on and stuff like that.
Got Gwan over here. Fashionista.
She doesn't. Don't worry about that. Don't give her any more ammunition.
Oh, that's fine. I take the compliments well. We haven't spoken about transfer tinder in a while. Is this your first time?
This first time.
Oh, it's murder, by the way. It's murder.
It's not. It's the best thing that's ever happened to talkSPORT in the off season. 10 years married.
Get Kev to do it, not me.
Okay. No, I will get Kev to do it. 10 years married next month.
Who is?
Me.
Oh, yeah.
So what did you do for your 10-year anniversary? And if you get any hints?
I don't know. It was ages ago.
Oh, come on, Al.
I'm not romantic, am I? Probably took her down the pub. Where are you going there?
It's worked. She's hung around for another 40 years.
Yeah.
What about you, Kevin? What did you do?
I'm not too sure.
He's not even had a holiday this summer.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm working hard as a manager.
I work hard, but I'm having a holiday.
How many years are you married?
16.
Okay, so what did you do in 10 years? It's a special one, isn't it?
They're all special.
Oh, you see? More of that chat.
Childhood sweetheart.
Oh, really?
Yeah, primary school.
Oh. made it weird.
He made it strange, doesn't he?
What's her name?
Hayley.
Oh, lovely. That's nice stuff. Nice stuff. Okay, right. Swipe right if you like the idea of this player to a club. Swipe left if it doesn't work for you. He doesn't even know how to spell Tinder. He's never heard of it, or Kevin Nolan. Okay, Granite Xhaka.
Listen, I've got a few friends who are on Tinder. There's a few.
Yeah, he's not that naive, don't worry.
Yeah, no, I'm obviously very street smart in them things, but no,
how are your
never
friends getting on Tinder? Have they had any luck? Or?
Well, no, I'm not too sure. I'm a fan of it. I think, take it, go old school. we met on the bus. You know, there's this instant attraction or whatever you like.
That's cute.
Where you like someone and then
Did you kiss at the back of the bus?
No, when we got off the bus.
As you seen it, just went ding ding.
Right, okay, Granit Xhaka to Sunderland. How do we feel about this? Swiss powerhouse with a big heart and bigger passes, former Arsenal captain, Bundesliga champ with Leverkusen, 137 caps for the Swiss, and he's the guy who keeps the midfield ticking. Would you like to see a little bit of Xhaka at Sunderland? Swipe right if you want to match it, swipe left if you want to pass it.
I want to swipe left because it's Sunderland, isn't it? I've got to say that because I don't want Sunderland to get better.
I'll go right, Shaban. I'll go right. They need a bit of experience in there, and I think he gives that.
Yeah, I'm only going and doing that because I don't want them to be better. I want them to, I want Newcastle to take 6 points and they'll have a better chance.
You don't rate him.
No, I do like him. I think he's a good player. he's on his wind up, isn't he?
It's that time of day, Kev. It is that time.
Of course, yeah. I've looked after him all morning as well. He's been, feeling a bit delicate, and now he's having a go at me.
He's had his Red Bull. He's good to go. We spoke about this earlier on. Transfer Tinder now. Johan Usyk to Newcastle. He's 28. He's Brentford's record Premier League scorer with 20 goals last season in all competitions. Fast, versatile, and ready to light up St James's Park. Where are we going now, left or right?
I'll go left. If he was with his mate Mbeumo or Isak, yeah. But if he's going to replace, I'll go left.
Okay, 50 milli, Kev.
Yeah, I'm going to go right on this. I think he will end up at Newcastle. The reason why I think they're going to have that many games, they're going to have to sort of swap and change, and with Isak's sort of injury, injuries from last season, I think that he'll be a real good addition to the Newcastle squad. So I'll take him.
I hope so, by the way, because I do like him as a player.
That's the thing. I mean, if Brentford lose him now, jeez Louise, for the new manager.
Yeah, but look at Brighton, look at, Brentford, they've done it before, Shaban. They seem to find other players, and Brighton are the perfect example of getting rid of some top players and bringing in players and make so many top players again.
It is a big year for them though, Al, isn't it, for Brentford now, because obviously Keith Andrews going in there.
Yeah.
Obviously after losing Thomas Frank, then losing 2 of your most prolific.
Yeah,
we all asked the question when Ivan Toney left, but they stepped up.
True.
So it's going to be interesting to see if they've got the ones waiting in the wings and see if they can step up.
Okay, finally, how do we feel about Rodrigo to Liverpool? He's 24, Real Madrid's silky winger with a knack for big moments, Brazilian flair, hunger to shine on the left flank. He's got La Liga titles, Champions League, and a restless streak after limited minutes under Xabi Alonso.
I like him, me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I do really like him. I think this pending on what happens with Luis Diaz. I know that there's Bayern Munich, Barcelona he's been linked to over the last coming week. So it's going to be interesting. I think if he'll probably be a real good addition to the squad if they do lose Diaz.
How much, Shaban?
Could be about 90 million. 90 million quid, 80 to 90. Is he worth that?
Oh, you don't play for Real Madrid if you're a mug.
Good point.
Do you?
Yeah.
No. You know what I mean? So when I've seen him play, I thought, wow, I think in that Liverpool side, because they have so much possession, he'll be all right. I'll go right.
Ooh, I know.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that.
You've got a match.
Double match. Love
There you
that.
go.
Okay. Rodrigo to Liverpool, guys. I'm feeling absolutely loved up this morning. Thanks.
I'm going left with my next guest, Adrian Dunham. Alex Shooter coming up from Old Trafford, so plenty to come. So you done, Shaban?
Love you, bye.
Right, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. From excavators to skips or cement mixers to pressure washers, Travis Perkins Hire has all your landscaping needs covered.
So it was on a few weeks ago, I was over in Jersey, walked in a big marquee and I got a microphone in my face. Alan Brazil, hiya Tomo. Derek Thompson. Now what were you doing here? He says, I do Jersey races all the time. Legendary racing commentator Derek Tomo Thompson has hung up his microphone after a 60-year career. Brilliant. A legend of a voice who would shout, photo, so recognisable after calling a tight race, and who can forget the greatest ever clip in broadcast history?
It's the news, and Bob just confirming the ground is now good to see. Oh, you've been joined by a beautiful lady.
It's a man, actually, Derek.
Who is it?
Oh, I'm
I see,
sorry.
he's just been joined by a beautiful lady. Remind me of your name, because I completely forgot. Matthew Jones. Of course it's Matthew Jones. He's a man.
Tom will get your glasses a wipe. Amazing. Tom will be with us at around 9:45. 60 years, that's amazing. We're also joined by Dart superstar Stephen Bunting after a brilliant win last night, and former two-weight world champion boxer Cal Frampton will tell us if Dubois was unprepared for the fight. It'd be interesting. And Adrian Durham joins us next to try and describe the unbelievable scenes from last night as the Lionesses somehow came from behind to make it another final. That's Adrian Durham coming up next, 2 minutes to 8.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. It's easy to hire at Travis Perkins with a Travis Perkins trade account.
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend, even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. They'd been introduced not for leg protection, but instead to give batters a strategic advantage. The idea was that batters could put their leg pads in front of the wicket if they missed the ball, preventing them from being bowled out. Obviously, that all changed when the LBW rule came in, but that was the theory behind them. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Apparently, he'd broken his leg in a match against Sheffield United in 1874 and wanted to stop it from happening again. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads, sewed them into his socks and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. Ta-da! Shin pads. Like all great genius inventors, everyone took the mickey at first. To be fair, he probably looked quite stupid running around with these on. But it's thought his whole Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this protection was pretty important for footballers. Multiple studies have shown wearing shin pads clearly reduces the risk of players getting lower leg injuries. And so in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became a part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says pads must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, and players can get away with a lot. A lot of grassroots clubs are choosing to ban micro shin pads for obvious reasons though, especially after a 15-year-old player from Penistone Church broke his leg while wearing them. Still no change from IFAB though. That's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
Coming up to 8:05, talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Premier League icon Kevin Nolan with us. The Lionesses left it late again, but they're into a third straight final.
117th minute, Hemp's cross. Mead goes down, that's got to be a penalty. It is! An England penalty kick with 3 minutes of extra time to go. This to put England in the final. Kelly save! Kelly there again. It's in! England 2, Italy 1. This is just extraordinary.
Yes, England found themselves behind again until the 96th minute against Italy, but teenage striker Michel Adjumang stepped up and hit a dramatic equaliser to take the game to extra time before Chloe Kelly's penalty rebound fired the Lionesses into yet another final towards the end of 120 minutes. They'll play the winners of Spain-Germany, which is live on talkSPORT 2 tonight. Should be a good game, that one. Adjumang and Kelly were both subs, while Mead, Clinton, Carter and Beaver Jones all came on as well. After the game, Serena Wiegman praised the impact of those who came off the bench.
They just accept their role and they're ready, and they get ready, and they know they have a huge contribution to the team. And I think what I said before too, you could bring so many players on the pitch and I make the decisions, but everyone's ready to go. So today also Aggie came in and she made it very difficult for their defenders too, together with Michelle, with the two of them. And then of course when we had to go back because we scored 1-1, then Aggie goes to the left side and she knows exactly what to do too. So they're really well prepared. They're ready to go, and they brought something extra, and that's what the team needed. So that's really nice to have, and it says a lot about this team.
So I was going to ask Kev, the best super sub you ever played, but it's difficult now because there's so many subs, but in my day it was probably Fairclough at Liverpool, come off the bench.
Yeah, scoring
or
goals.
Solskjaer for United.
Solskjaer was the one, yeah. I think he was the best one I probably seen him, you know, when they had them four, you know, Sheringham and Solskjaer comes on for York and Cole. The impact what they'd have, I think, yeah, Solskjaer's probably of my era was the one who was the super sub, if you like.
Yeah. Join us now for more, live from beautiful Geneva, talkSPORT's chief live football anchor, Adrian Dunham. Adrian, another left it late, another incredible result when it looked at one stage England were going out.
Morning, Aid.
Yeah. Morning, Kev. Morning, Alan. And listen, it's glorious. The feeling is unbelievable. The slogan for this tournament is the summit of emotions, and these Lionesses are taking us there. The thing is, you get during the game, I think like most fans, I was pretty annoyed. I was frustrated. I was thinking they're going out, very negative about the whole thing, and then out of nowhere, very, very, very late, Michel Adjumang gets the equaliser. And actually, from then on, we thought England might kick on, but they didn't really. They didn't up the tempo. They slowed it down. then get the penalty, and it was sloppy from the Italians. Chloe Kelly even misses that, but gets the rebound. So they've put us through it last night. I mean, this is what football's all about. If you're a football fan, everybody listening to this will know exactly what I'm talking about, because you go through those lows, and there's lots of lows, believe me, but you get those highs, and nothing can top that feeling. And the Lionesses last night, if they win the final like that, nobody's going to have a problem.
Well, can they though, Adrian? You know, because if it is Spain who beat Germany in the other semi-final, you know, Spain, I've said before this morning on talkSPORT that they keep the ball very, very well, probably better than any other team in the tournament. And it's going to be difficult for England to do that again. You can't keep doing that, can you?
No, at some point your luck is going to run out, and they've been very lucky, there's no question about it. And I thought that luck running out was going to happen last night. Listen, Spain-Germany, the other semi in Zurich tonight. Let's see what happens. If it's Germany, I think most England fans will feel they've got a chance. You can't really predict with any kind of conviction at this tournament. But with Spain, I've seen them twice at this tournament, and they have been absolutely superb. But what we're seeing from the Lionesses is a different way of doing it. So in 2022, when they won the Euros, Al and Kev, they played some really good football. At this Euros, the stats will show that they're the long ball merchants. They're playing a very different way, especially when Adjaman comes on the pitch. They absolutely boot it long to try and get through, and it's worked. Now, that will be a clash of styles. It might be something that Spain can't handle, because their weakness is at centre-half.
Yeah, I was just talking about that earlier. She's made some real big decisions, hasn't she? In terms of even in the last game, taking out Jess Carter, bringing in Esme. She's made big decisions before the tournament. You know, Millie Bright not coming, and obviously Mary Earps, big people in the last couple of tournaments for them. She sort of give them the confidence. It seems like a real good camaraderie. Is that what you see when you see them in and around and everything else, and you see these games? You know, winning late on is always a great strength to have, and you know, a good attribute to have as a football team, certainly.
Yeah, there's a phrase the England fans use, which is "in Serena we trust." That was tested to the full last night, I can tell you. But she's got us through, and you just have to have faith in that. I think in terms, there's two things here, Kev, and you're right to look at the selection, because we were all a little bit surprised that Chloe Kelly didn't start last night, but yet again she's had the impact from the bench. Esme Morgan was a big change to make, but she's been actually superb in the quarter-final when she came on, and in the semi-final last night she was really good. So she's nailed down. Nobody would have said she'd start the final if England were to get there, and here she is. She is going to be starting the final, I believe. So there's a big decision to be made about whether Chloe Kelly starts or not, and Michelle Adjaman as well. It'll be tough on Russo, who's not got the goals but has got the assists and has done all the running and all the hard work. The other issue is the subs, because Chloe Kelly, there was one enforced sub. Lauren James went off injured at half-time. 77 minutes until Serena made the decision to bring on Chloe Kelly, and we were all just frustrated, wondering what was going on. Why was she waiting? Now, in the end, it's happened, and England have got there, and she can say, well, I made the subs at the right time. But boy, that's leaving it late, and I just wish she'd do it a bit sooner, because we were transformed after the subs.
Yeah, looks a beautiful morning there, Adrian. That park you're in, have you really enjoyed Geneva?
I have to say, Alan, I heard you talking about Geneva earlier. What a city. It's magnificent. We climbed a mountain yesterday in a cable car, which was absolutely superb. The views from the stadium, from the Servette Stadium, absolutely magnificent, and the mountains, something I'll never forget. It's a wonderful city. I will be coming back. Bit too sunny for somebody pale and ginger like me, but I absolutely love it. Lake Geneva is just so picturesque. You could just sit there looking at it all day. It's beautiful, beautiful place.
Well, you got Lake Zurich, and you've also got Lake Lucerne as well, which is very nice. Adrian, just away from the Lionesses, Arteta, Mikel has said that Arsenal have 8 title rivals this season. I'm not having that. 8 title rivals. 4, yeah, 5 maybe, but 4 for me, not 8.
Well, he's getting the excuses in early, isn't he? Listen, this is a fella who's under massive, massive pressure to deliver. There's not many managers at top clubs get the time that he has had and the money that he has had at Arsenal. If he doesn't deliver this season, then I think even some of those fans might turn against him. It's a big one for Mikel Arteta. I've no idea why he's saying that, because nobody believes a word of it. There's no way you could pick out 8 teams from the Premier League and say that they've got a chance of winning the title. 3, possibly 4 maybe, but 8 nobody believes a word he's saying. Is that a man under pressure already?
Yeah, Adrian, nice one. Thank you, I can tell you. Arsenal at the moment out in Singapore. Our very own Ray Party Parlour is out there sampling the delights of Singapore.
well, you get everywhere, you lads, don't you?
He's then going on to Hong Kong.
Beautiful.
And then hopefully, will he make it back here? I've no idea. Right, 03717223344. What about that, Mikel Arteta? Give us a call this morning. Mikel just making excuses in case Arsenal don't win the title this season. It's got to be surely Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, or Arsenal, Chelsea, then Newcastle maybe, or Villa. You know, I mean, where's the other teams coming from? I can't see it. They can win it? No, they can have good seasons, like Villa, teams like that can have
do you think he's been misinterpreted and he's talking Champions League?
No, I don't. I think he's just. I'm
trying to make an excuse for Mickey.
Yeah, why?
Well, of course, I like Mickey.
Do you?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Mickey? All right, Mickey. I've never heard them called Mickey before.
Well, you do when you're on the football pitch, don't you? I obviously grew up playing against him a lot, and a real nice fella. Look, he's done a real fantastic job, but I think this is the season where he's sort of got to deliver. He's got to deliver now.
Arsenal fans, does that make you nervous? Is he feeling the pressure already? Old Mickey. Right, 8:15. Well, I have to say, I'm a bit of an Elvis fan. I'm not crazy on him, but I'm a fan. Kevin
Have you watched the
Nolan
film?
Pardon?
Have you watched the film?
Yeah.
I,
but you'd be a Beatles man ahead of Elvis, wouldn't you?
Yeah, obviously coming from where I am, Beatles, but I mean, I think this fella too, when I watched the film, I really, it sort of sucks you in.
It was heartbreaking, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
I tell you what I watched yesterday. I watched Godfather 3. Oh, just magic. I was Andy Garcia's really good in it as well, but the music, the music's
great,
stunning.
I used to have it as my ringtone, actually. That's one of my favourite songs, tunes, I should say.
So a bit of Jailhouse Rock with the legendary Elvis Presley there. I'm playing it because one of his immersive shows didn't go down too well with an old age pensioner. I read this morning. A pensioner was dragged out of the show after describing it as this.
That's a lot of
Sounded like Neil Warnock. Well, he's not the only one who complained after audience expected holograms of the king of rock and roll, similar to those at the ABBA Voyage virtual gigs. That's maybe brilliant, Kev, if you like that.
Yeah, that's right next to the London Stadium, isn't it? So
yes,
used to see them all.
It's maybe brilliant.
Yeah, used to see them all out, after the game.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable. You see them all and they're all dressed up and that everyone going in there.
Yeah,
and the reviews I've heard on it are supposed to be incredible. Yeah, it's supposed to be a really good night.
And I think they do too as well, didn't they? In there,
I think they did. Maybe. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
But reportedly it was just one shocking Elvis impersonator in front of old videos of Elvis, so it left the audience absolutely fuming. The pensioner there shouted that this is rubbish, causing the lights to be turned on, the gig stopped and the old man escorted off the premises. I think I know two old OAPs who would still have that a great time though. Who's that to?
We can't go on together with suspicious minds, and we can build our dreams on suspicious minds.
Who's that friend?
An old friend I know.
Did he say?
Stop by and say hello. Would I still see suspicion in your eyes?
Here we go. Come on.
Here we go now. Here you go again, asking where I've been.
I mean, Ali, he gets right into it, doesn't he?
He loves his music.
He loves his music.
He came in my party at my 50th, right?
Yeah.
And he missed about 6 planes going home to Glasgow. He wouldn't leave. He was standing on that table doing Springsteen. He just wouldn't. We had a guitarist came over from Monaco,
right,
who used to play for the Royal Family over there.
Okay.
And he turned up, and he left it really late. I said, "Is this guy coming?" And he turned up really late, and he was magic. He knew every word, every song, and what a player. And that was it. McCoy said, I'm cancelling. I'll get the next one. He loves it. He's out in Portugal at the moment. Right, if you could bring back any artist from history to go and see live, who would it be? Who would you like to see? I miss Sinatra, I'd like to see Sinatra.
Yeah. I would love... And you mentioned them before, and it's only because obviously they love what everyone has for them in Liverpool. I was never, an unbelievable massive Beatles fan, but I would love to see, them in concert and just see the adulation for them.
Who?
All the Beatles.
Oh, the Beatles, yeah.
Just to see what it was, what it was like.
Well, our next guest is a strange one because he does love his music and he knows his music. Right. But he would bring back Shakin' Stevens, which is ridiculous. Get those wedding bells ready, Ed. Time now for the latest odds with Coral's Dave Stevens.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. Proud sponsors of the Qatar Goodwood Festival. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Married a Liverpool girl, Kev.
Oh, really?
Yeah, married a Liverpool girl. Morning, Steve-O.
Gentlemen, a very, very good morning.
First question, you still married?
Well, 2 and a bit weeks out, we're still going strong. So, so far, so... Listen, I'm paying off the wedding. I can't afford a divorce. But...
Are you taking her to glorious Goodwood?
I believe she will be there, Al. You will get to have a glass of champagne with Mrs. Stevens, yeah.
And Mum and Dad?
We're looking for it. No, they're actually over in France, so they'll be away for that one. But listen, you said bring Shaky Stevens back. You're not killing off old Uncle Shaky. Come on, Shaky's still going strong. But
looking forward to Chris Evans, his gig in the Garden, Steve. I have not recovered yet. Honestly, it was immense, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
And I assume Al, as always, raised a load of money for great causes. That's why Chris does it, isn't it? So
he's raised nearly 70 million, the guy, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Right, so the King George, let's kick off with that.
Yeah, this is Ascot's big midsummer feature, and this is going to be an absolute cracker, Al. The market, we cannot split at the head of the market. Jan Bruegel, trained by Aidan O'Brien. Calandagan, trained over in France, runs in the famous Aga Khan colours. They were first and second in the Coronation Cup at Epsom last month. Jan Bruegel came out in front that day. Calandagan has since come out and won a Group 1 in France. As I say, we can't split them. We got the filly Kalpana in the famous Juddmonte Silks. She's 9-2. Then it's Rebels Romance, Godolphin 5-1. So all the big powers are represented. And as I say, this is the midsummer highlight, and they're going to get a field to match. So 4:10 at Ascot on Saturday. Do not miss the King George. Ahead of, as you said, 5 brilliant days down on the Sussex Downs next week.
What about the Sussex Stakes, the big one?
Yeah. Field of Gold. He's 2-5, 5-2 on out. And do you know what? He deserves to be. Unlucky in the 2,000 guineas.
Unlucky? That's not the word for it.
Sorry to bring that up once again. Since then, he's won the Irish 2,000 guineas for St James's Palace. He's a 3-year-old. He'll get weight from the older horses like Rosalian and Docklands. And we don't know who's going to ride him yet, because Colin Keane, his regular pilot now, is suspended. So there's a lovely spare ride up for grabs for someone. But look, I'm not going to say he's the next Frankel, because Frankel was a one-off, but he could be as good as his dad, who was Kingman, who won the Sussex Stakes 10 years ago. So do not miss Field of Gold on the Wednesday, the highlight of 5 brilliant days down there.
Steve-O, before we get on to the Lionesses, what about the cricket today starting up at Old Trafford? This is tight, isn't it?
Yeah, what is it? Kev, do you like your cricket?
Yeah, looking forward to it, mate. I really enjoyed these tests, if you like, this series. So it's going to be a good one, mate, yeah.
I think what's interesting, people have long said Test cricket is, coming to the end. It's all about T20 and one-day internationals. This series has been brilliant from start to finish. 2-1, obviously, England lead. Bit of needle, which I never think is a bad thing when you get to top-level sport. Both these teams will go at it. Here's the interesting thing, though. The draw generally, Bazball is never really a runner. England are odds on 10-11 to win, 15-8 India. Okay. But 7-2 the draw might just be a runner, because India do bat very well. England, Jofra Archer, is he going to have the fitness to do another 5 days? Ben Stokes, sort of similar comments. And also, obviously, I know the Northwest very well, but there could be rain in Manchester over the next 5 days. So, look, again, these teams probably might not need 5 days to get a result, but the draw at 7-2 is not without a chance. Joe Root, brilliant record at Old Trafford, loves crossing the Pennines, and he's 3-1 to be top scorer for England in that first innings. But yeah, 2-1 to England. What a series this has been.
Steve-O, just on the Premiership, we heard Michael Arteta stating that there's 8 teams can win it. Yeah, all right, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. What about, have Liverpool tightened up, or is there money come for the Arsenal or for City?
It's very tight between those three. Kev, Liverpool are favourites, 2-1.
Yeah.
Rightly so, after the brilliant season they had. Then it's 12-5 Arsenal, 3-1 Manchester City. I get 8-1 Chelsea. 28 Newcastle. Who are the other runners that your mate Mickey thinks are in the running for this, Kev?
He's got the Mickey shout now. Steve-O, no, I think he's probably looking at Aston Villa, because they're not going to be in the Champions League. So he's probably thinking, they're going to be in a round and sort of upsetting them. I think they could be one.
Forest?
I can't really then go below that. Forest, it's going to be tough to sort of replicate what they done last year. So yeah, I'm not really sure where the other couple of teams are coming from, but I certainly think Newcastle and Villa will be ones who can upset the apple cart a bit if there's going to be 2 anyway. But I don't see them as title challenges. I see them more as Champions League.
Steve-O, Rangers had a good win last night in Europe, didn't they? Beating Panathinaikos 2-0. I'm not saying they're through yet, but have they shortened up in the battle with Celtic for the SPL?
Oh, let's have a look. Now, that's an interesting. You'll be pleased to know that no, they haven't. Al Celtic 4-11, 9-4 Rangers, 16-1 Hearts. You're just trying to upset McCoist, aren't you? If he's listening in from Portugal.
Can we give them a start and make it more interesting? A handicap.
I'm not getting involved in this particular dispute.
What about the Lionesses then? So it's Spain, the favourites against Germany, taking on England.
Do you know what? The one thing about this England team is they find a way, don't they? You can't even... I was listening... I was actually driving back from a glorious Goodwood preview I'd done, so I was listening to Joe Shannon's commentary on talkSPORT and then got home just in time to see that equaliser. I say they never stopped trying for that equaliser. They got it. And fair play to Chloe Kelly, because you both know she did the exact thing you do when you take a penalty. You follow it up, don't you? And although the keeper made the save, she was there to tuck it away. They're 7-4 to retain this title, of course, but Spain 8-13 to win it, 15-2 Germany. Spain, we expect to get past Germany tonight. They're 1-4, 5-2 the Germans. Yeah. But that was similar sort of odds to England last night. So, you know, the Germans will take some heart from what the Italians did last night. But it looks like it's going to be the big two, Spain versus England at the weekend. But Spain are going to be tough to beat.
Nice one, Steve-O. Thank you. Talk
Cheers,
later.
fellas.
Cheers, Steve-O.
Dave Stevens from Carroll there. Look at the latest odds. All thanks to our pals at Carroll. 18 plus gambleaware.org. Keep the calls coming in. Adrian Dunham has said Mickey is making excuses by saying they have 8 title rivals this season. Is Kez mate Mickey already cracking under the pressure? 03717 223344. The number to call. Up next, could we have been for a feisty test match in recent memory between England and India up at Old Trafford? We'll find out next.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. Proud sponsors of the Qatar Goodwood Festival. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Bazball, England's approach to Test cricket under Kiwi coach Brendan McCullum. What is it really, and is it working? We've had a look. Is it just aggressive batting? That is a big part of it. Test teams around the world are scoring faster all the time, but the Bazballers are the fastest scoring Test team ever. Bazball. England's approach to Test cricket under Kiwi coach Brendan McCullum. What is it really, and is it working? We've had a look. Is it just aggressive batting? That is a big part of it. Test teams around the world are scoring faster all the time, but the Bazballers are the fastest scoring Test team ever.
talkSPORT Breakfast with the Arnold Clark app. Buy a car and opt in to Arnold Clark Rewards to enjoy access to great giveaways and everyday perks. Kevin Nolan with us. Kev, before we go on to a man you know very well as a new club, we're going to do that in a moment. What's your start like for Northampton, for the old Cobblers? What's it?
Yeah, well, we go away to Wigan. We've done some really big business in the summer, and then we start at home to Bradford. So 2 tough games to start off with. But look, I'm really looking forward to just getting into it now. Al, you know, you get your 4th, 5th week in pre-season. You just want to start, don't you? Yeah. You know, and that's what I feel like as a manager now. I want to get there. Obviously still got a lot of business to do, I feel, in terms of getting players in, but yeah, hopefully see where we're at in a couple of weeks' time.
Now, man Kev knows very well has a new club. Have a listen.
Oh, it's a goal for West Ham. It's West Ham 3, Arsenal 2, and it's Andy Carroll with a hat-trick on 51 minutes.
Have you been to Magaluf Strip?
I don't think I've ever been to Magaluf.
Yeah, it's different, mate.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah. See old Andy Carroll out there?
I bet he did.
If all you think Andy Carroll could do is get up and head balls into the back of the net, well, this is a massive answer to all of you.
Andy Carroll gets the second goal for West Ham United to put them in front.
Oh, Jamie loves a trip away in the sun, doesn't he, eh? He does. He loves a trip away.
I love it that he just knows where everybody is.
I know.
He knows where Gabby was, knows where Andy Carroll was.
I hear him on the phone, his agent and all that. Yeah. Where can I go? Where can you get me a deal? Where can I go? Who's out there? Oh yeah, get me on that one. National League side Dagenham and Redbridge. The Daggers signed Andy on a free transfer earlier this month. It's been a mixed bag in pre-season so far. Lost one game 5-1, another 5-0, and won the other one 1-0. He was over in France, wasn't he, Kev?
Yeah, totally enjoying his time over there. Loved it. I think he just loved the
wine.
The wine.
Where was he?
But he was secluded. Very secluded. Yeah, in Bordeaux. When I spoke to him, he come and had a chat with us when I was at Northampton. But obviously, Dagenham being where he's come back over now, he wants to be closer to the kids, which is important to him. And so for him to Dagenham seems a real good fit. He goes on to. I think he's going to have a sort of board type of
consultant
afterwards he's invested, so yeah, he's invested heavily. He's invested in what he wants to do now and where he wants to be.
Good.
Look, pre-season's pre-season. I wouldn't look too much into it. It's about what they do in the season. So yeah, looking forward to see how he gets on. Yeah, I think he could have. Yeah, we did have preliminary discussions, me and him. But I think it was just obviously the geography sort of didn't work out, of him being too far away and obviously trying to, be somewhere where he can settle.
You're all right, aren't you, geography? Because you're in the Midlands.
Yeah.
So Northampton's
not too
far.
Not far, but, that an hour and a half of a morning maybe, and, then getting back overnight and stuff like that, it takes a lot out of you, especially when you start getting older, as you know, mate, he's 35 now, and then you're expected to, train and be at a physical elite level, so... Yeah, I think he'll do well, Andy. I'm sure he'll do well, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Hopefully, go the right way for him.
So you played with Andy West Ham and at Newcastle with our housemates. Andy matured from a boy into a man in the goldfish bowl of that particular northeast city. He's been in the papers frequently throughout his career, from wearing a West Ham kit to a wedding, to punching James Collins in the face. I can't remember that, and breaking his cheekbone. Did he?
Yeah, 3 seasons through, yeah.
Oh dear. And even going to Boys Own concerts with Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah.
He didn't go to a Boys Own concert.
Yeah, he did, yeah. He was there, yeah, with his then girlfriend, and I think Kenny was there with his wife and
Marina.
So
I spoke to him briefly. He was down in La Manga a week or two ago. Kenny loves it down there.
Yeah. What a legend there.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're talking about players, mate,
he was up there.
He's like my dad's hero, idol and everything.
I thought it was just wonderful.
He's loved in Liverpool, and rightly so.
What he's done for the city, brilliant.
Yeah.
The fourth test match between England and India gets underway later this morning from Old Trafford, and the latest chapter of what's been an absolute gripping series so far. England won the last test at Lord's by just 22 runs to leave the series finally poised at 2-1. The game certainly had it all. Both sets of players repeatedly went at each other, sparking brawls and heated arguments throughout the 5 days. Indian bowler Siraj was fined 15% of his match fee for an overreaction when dismissing Ben Duckett. Little shoulder charge at the end of it as well, wasn't there? In his pre-match press conference, the Indian captain Gill threw more petrol on the fire as he accused the England players of going against the spirit of cricket during the Lord's Test match. Have a listen to this.
The English batsmen on that day, they had 7 minutes of play left. They were 90 seconds late to come to the crease. Not 10, not 20, 90 seconds late. Yes, most of the teams, they use this. Even if we were in a position, we would have also liked to play lesser overs, but there's a manner to do it. And we felt, yes, if you get hit on your body, the physios are allowed to come on, and that is something that is fair. But to be able to come 90 seconds late on the crease is not something that I would think comes in the spirit of the game. And just leading up to that event, a lot of things that we thought should not have happened, that it happened. And I wouldn't say it was something that I'm very proud of, but there was a lead up and build up to that. It didn't just come out of nowhere, and we had no intention of doing that whatsoever, but you're playing a game, you're playing to win, and there are a lot of emotions involved, and when you see there are things happening that should not happen, sometimes the emotions come out of nowhere.
I'm not having that.
No, I think he's trying to rile them up a bit. I'll be interested to see, because as I said earlier, I think, with Ben Stokes doing his presser beforehand, he hasn't really had time to. But what he'll have time now to sort of calm everything down, say to England, all the lads, because if that was me now, that'll just give me ammunition to want to do better, to raise your game.
I think the Indians were in England's faces, not the other way around.
Yeah. Right from the off, by the way, in the first innings as well. You had Siraj getting into them, giving them a little bit of jip here, there and everywhere.
But it's very evenly matched, and he's a top player as well, but I think he's bang out of order.
Yeah.
Interesting comments there from Gill, who was very animated himself in the evening of day 3. Let's look ahead to the 4th test match and this brilliant series so far. Say a very good morning to former England bowler Alex Tudor. Alex, a good morning, Alex.
Morning,
Good
Alex.
morning, Alan. Good morning, Kevin. How are we?
A good bit strong from the old Indian captain there, isn't it, Alex? You got a few words for him? Well, I nearly said something.
Honestly, it's getting a little bit silly, isn't it? I think, both teams have been on it. I mean, listen, India were trying all tactics, weren't they? In that 3rd test match, I think it was, when it was a change of innings, and to allow one of their batters, I think, pant so he can bat, they just came out a lot slower, coming through the long room and stuff like not knowing where they were going, just so they can extend that so he'll be able to bat. you know, the faithfulness of the game. Listen, the game needs that. You don't want robots. I think Mohamed Siraj being caution is nonsense for me. I don't think it was overall fraud. Listen, in our day, there were certain players, you know, we love Darren Goff, friend of the station. Listen, there was a few times when he got heated, Dominic Cork, people like that got a little bit heated when they were bowling. You just get on with it, as long as it doesn't get too personal. And it's in the heat of the battle. You know, they're playing at the highest level, and you would expect a little bit of needle. Mohamed Siraj, yeah, he got a little bit excited when he got that wicket of Ben Duckett, because the way Ben Duckett's been playing, you know, he goes after a seam, and it's not nice as a fast bowler when someone's playing all these audacious shots. But you just got to get on with it. It's the game, and that's why we love it. It's 2-1. We're looking forward to Old Trafford. It should be a great series. I'm going to pop off to the gym and make sure I'm back for 11 o'clock, and I'll be watching.
11 o'clock, crikey, you're spending a lot of time in the gym, Alex, do you?
Well, you know, you've got to drop the kids to school. My boy's last day today, you drop him to school, go off to the gym, come back, get breakfast and settle in. You know, listen to the build-up and listen to it. Hopefully the weather in Manchester is good. You never know in Manchester, do we?
No.
So hopefully the weather's good, allows us 5 days so we can see 5 days of good cricket.
Just you know, what do you think about England getting docked 2 points? Because for a slow over rate, because as a seamer, it's going to be quite slow, isn't it? You know, when you sort of, you know, trying to go through your, you know, your run, everything else. So what's your thoughts on that off the back of what we've just been talking about, really?
Yeah, Kevin, I think, listen, and Ben Stokes came up with a great point where it's going to be a lot different than in the subcontinent where you're playing, you know, slower bowlers, right? So you're going to get through your overs quick. In England, Australia, South Africa, predominantly you're going to play more steam.
Yeah.
So obviously over rates are going to be a little bit slower. Listen, I still feel that 90 overs should be bowled in a day. The weather's been good, the light's good, so I don't see why, you know, we can't get 90 overs in. If they go over, then so be it. But because on the last day you have to bowl 90 regardless. I just don't see why in the first 4 days you can't get your 90 in. And for me, who loses out is the paying public again. And I just think. Go on, sorry.
Alex, I don't know whether Bumrah's going to play today, but it must be great for you to see the likes of Archer and Bumrah, the different styles, but both extremely quick.
Yeah, they're different level. I was with Joff on Sunday, actually. He came to an event, him and Chris Jordan, and there was myself, Sir Curtly Ambrose, Courtney Walsh, Devon Malcolm, Dean Hendy, Bill de Freitas, Norman Cowans. We were all there. And just to see him, and he looked, you know, we obviously giving him, well, not me, obviously the you know, Curtly Ambrose and Courtney Walsh. I was saying to my son, because my son was with me, and I said, son, you have to realise this is my Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. They are of that calibre, and they were speaking with Joff, and, you know, we were just asking how he was. He looked fit, he looked hungry, he looked ready, and as you say, with Bumrah, he's the best bowler, multifunctional bowler in the world at the moment, and it's just great to see fast bowlers at their peak bowling, and I hope that Bumrah plays. I'm sure as an England fan they're saying, what are you talking about? But I think, you know, when you're playing at this level, you want to play against the best. And for me, Bumrah's the best. You have to test yourself. It's 2-1 down. I don't think India can allow for England, obviously, to go 3-1 to win the series. So I think he'll need to play. But obviously, we'll have to see wicket and conditions, etc.
Got to be quick, because I don't want to keep you back from the gym, mate. Alex, the toss. What does Ben do if he wins the toss?
Oh, I think you look overhead, you look at the pitch. I mean, listen, England love to bowl first, don't they? Because they feel like they can chase anything. You just have to weigh it up. You know, he changed the script at Lords, and I'm sure England fans will, you know, whatever the conditions are, will back what the captain goes with, and then we'll just see how we go.
Alex, enjoy today, mate. Thanks, you.
Alex. Pleasure, guys. Take care.
Alex Shooter there. A reminder, if you're overseas this summer, you can hear live ball-by-ball commentary of England's Test series against India on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel, so make sure you head over there and subscribe. Coming up, Mickey Arteta says Arsenal have 8 title challenges, so he might have finally got his striker, but now he has found another excuse why he can't get his team over the line. 03717 223344 is the number to call. Kev is ready to defend his best mate Mickey, so be careful. 8 just gone 8:45.
sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart. 'Cause you're a sky full of stars. 'Cause you light up the park.
8:52, Kevin Nolan alongside me now. Something Kev will definitely be entering, hoping to take his best mate Mickey. Coldplay are back at Wembley this summer. Wembley. And we got a huge VIP prize up for grabs for one lucky listener. We're giving you the chance to win 6 tickets, in a private box for you and your mates on August 22nd. With full hospitality, plus we're chucking in 10 grand spending money, completely tax-free. How do you enter? Have a listen. 18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland for a chance to win. Just text the word WIN, W-I-N, to 88883 by the 4th of August at 11 p.m. and you're in the draw. Text costs £2, £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission or push your name and number to Coldplay competition. PO Box 3190, Colchester, and the postcode CO2 8GP. CO2 8GP to arrive by the 5th of to arrive by 5 o'clock on the 7th of August, okay? So if you fancy a bit of that, 10 grand in a box, brilliant. TalkSPORT limited promotion run on TalkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations, full T's and C's at talksport.com. Now away from Coldplay, we're taking Kev's best mate, so it's time. It's time for a bit of this, yes. Do you know, you can't say a thing on here, can you?
No, and to be fair, it's something what all Scousers do. We'll always
Mickey
shorten, yeah. So yeah, exactly. So Mickey is Mikel to everybody else, but when he's in Liverpool, he'll probably be more Mickey than he'll be Mikel. So I'm not taking it back, Al. He's not my best mate, but he's someone I admire in the game, and I'm pleased he's doing well. So no, I'm not taking it back.
Gunners boss Mikel Arteta claimed yesterday that 8 teams are trying to win the Premier this season. He says it's getting more and more competitive each year. The level is increasing every year. We have to see how things develop, but I see the right balance in terms of maturity, experience, youth, hunger. All these ingredients are there, Arteta said. The thing is, there's another 6, 7, 8 clubs in the league that have the right ingredients to win, and there's only going to be one winner. So we have to focus a lot on things that we can control, that we do, to achieve what we want at the end of the season. The number 03717. What do we make of this? Is Mikel Arteta just making excuses because he's feeling pressure? Adrian Dunham thinks so. Dan's a Leeds fan, a Leeds United supporter. Good draw with Man United the other night. Dan's a Leeds fan, but he wants to have his say on Arsenal. Morning, Dan.
Morning, Dan.
Morning, Alan. Morning, Kev. Yeah, I think he's flapping in a way, but to be honest, I mean, you were putting it down before, Alan, when you said 8 teams, right, that are threat in that Premier League. Now, as far as I look at it, right, there's 20 teams in that Premier League.
Yeah.
Okay? Any of them can be a threat. Who would have said that Leicester would have stepped up and won that Premier League? You know, but it's one of them. It's a difficult league to say it's the best league in the world, right? I mean, ask Neil Warnock, he'll tell you. That's the EFL.
Well, you're going to tell me Leeds can win it then, aren't you?
Well, no, do you know what? I don't think Leeds are going to win it. But my view, honestly, on Premier League, I'm going to be honest, Alan. Right, Kev?
Yeah.
Seriously, after watching that Leeds-Man United game, Premiership football is so slow. It were boring. I'm not being funny. I am going to miss Championship football next season.
Mind you, Dan, it was a friendly, a pre-season friendly. Don't forget that.
It was, but you're talking 2 Premiership teams against each other, and if that's the quality you're going to get, I'll look forward to next season then.
Yeah, interesting.
No disrespect respect, but I'm going to watch beach volleyball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we know why, don't we, Dan?
Yeah, Dan, listen, enjoy. I hope Leeds have a big season. I really do, and I hope you stay up. I mean that. Well done, Dan.
Big club, great club.
I just
nice
can't
to see them back.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I
can't see
like
past
Leeds.
Liverpool, Arsenal, City. And Chelsea, you got to put Chelsea in there now.
Well, especially after what they've done now.
Oh, their belief now is fantastic, Chelsea.
You know, young lads who've now gone, they've won two good competitions, got themselves into the Champions League. So you've got to make them. You know, you've got to put them up there and in with a shout. So I'm not too sure you can sort of judge the Premier League off the back of pre-season friendlies and pre-season games. I think, you know, it all starts and, you know, you're still talking 3 weeks away.
Yeah,
and that's a long time. That's a long time. So I get where Dan's, you know, sort of talking. He's struggling a bit and want to go and watch beach volleyball, but no, I'm sure he'll be very well looked after when he starts watching the game. I didn't know they played it there in Scarborough
on the beach. Right, Alex Crook, Stephen Bunting, Carl Frampton and Tomo, Derek Thompson, all to come on talkSPORT. 2 minutes to 9.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. All our Benchmarks kitchen doors come with a 5-year guarantee. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. This feel familiar?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision. It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top of football refereeing? Every referee starts with their county FA. It's a simple training course and you can take it as soon as you hit your 14th birthday. Once you've done that, you have to go through at least 11 hours of face-to-face training. You'll then graduate as a Level 7 official, which means you can take charge of county-level games. But hold your horses, there's still a long way to go to get to the Premier League. Your next step is to spend a year each at Levels 6, 5 and 4. This covers the top of the amateur game. Only at Level 3 do you start doing Northern Counties or Isthmian League level games, for example. If you've done this all quickly, you can reach Level 2 and ref your first National League match after, I don't know, 6 years? After getting enough experience at that level, you can apply to be a referee in the EFL. There's an interview, people watching you do games, and then, if the EFL are happy, you'll be granted a Level 1 licence to ref in games in League 2 and above. Now, they don't just say on you go to the Premier League, you have to work your way up through the divisions. Only after years of hard work and refereeing on cold Tuesday nights in Stoke can you be considered to do matches in some of Europe's very best stadiums. Now, who was the youngest to reach the very top? It was actually Michael Oliver. He reffed his first Premier League match in 2010 at the tender age of just 25. So if you want to follow in his footsteps, crack on. It'll only take you roughly a decade, thousands of hours of work and an incredibly thick skin. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough for the top flight. That means there's not even a 1 in 1,000 chance you'll even make it in. Obviously, referees can make mistakes, but when you think about it, having a go at them is kind of like slating a brain surgeon.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Build your own car deal online. All with a few clickety-clicks. They make buying your next car easy. Former Bolton, Newcastle and West Ham captain and Northampton Town, the old cobblers, Kevin Nolan with us. Right, Adrian Dunham's annoyed Arsenal fans again. After Arteta, or Mickey as Kev calls him, said Arsenal have 8 title challenges this season. Adrian said this.
Well, he's getting the excuses in early, isn't he? Listen, this is a fella who's under massive, massive pressure to deliver. There's not many managers at top clubs get the time that he has had and the money that he has had at Arsenal. If he doesn't deliver this season, then I think even some of those fans might turn against him. It's a big one for Mikel Arteta. I've no idea why he's saying that, because nobody believes a word of it. There's no way you could pick out 8 teams from the Premier League and say that they've got a chance of winning the title. 3, possibly 4 maybe, but 8, nobody believes a word he's saying. Is that a man under pressure already?
Adrian, he does get pelted from the Gunners. Oh, yeah. Alan's an Arsenal fan. He's called us 03717 223344, and he's not happy. Good morning, Al.
Morning, Alan.
Morning.
Now, what are you not happy? What are you not happy with, Al? With Mikel or with Durham?
With Durham and pretty much with most of the commentators that have come on that are on this channel at the moment. You know what I mean? If it's not the Spurs flop, Jamie O'Hara has to tell people he was a footballer because he was that bad. You know what I mean? You have Bonglahor constantly, constantly beating up Arsenal. You know, Mikel Arteta took over that team when it was a complete rebuilding. They had to get rid of people like Aubameyang. He's done all that. He brought the fans back on side. He's building a squad. Last season we had injuries to the 3 key players. A simple question. There was 3 favourites last season, us, Man City and Liverpool. Which team had no injuries?
Oh, I thought they all did. Liverpool didn't have as many, did they? They didn't have as many.
Liverpool didn't have a single real first team player out injured, they won the league. It's not a coincidence. But people just
Van Dijk, was he not out for a little bit? No,
I don't think Van Dijk was McAllister.
McAllister. But listen, I've already said, Al, that PSG game, you could easily have knocked him out of the Champions League, easily.
Yeah, we should have. It was one mistake at home. We should have won it.
Yeah,
but
okay.
He doesn't get the credit that he deserves. He's built a team from nothing. And last season we were still a team. We weren't a squad. We haven't had a squad for 2 seasons, which is what cost us last year. This season he's added to that squad, and he gets, in the media he gets beat up for that. Oh, why are you buying a midfielder? Why are you buying another goalkeeper? Because we need a squad. Yeah, he doesn't just need to build a team. He needs to build a squad, which is what he's doing.
Alan, I've been a supporter of Mickey, as I call him, mate, and I think I can understand your frustration, but I think where everybody's coming now is that he's now getting the players in. He's now sort of built the team. He was unfortunate with injuries last year, certainly, and as Al's just alluded to there, he could have knocked PSG out, and it could have been an unbelievable year in the Champions League. I think what it is why people sort of have a pop maybe is because of they've not challenged, as much as what they should have. But this has got to be the year, really, where you've got to be thinking, this is our time now, especially when you get Gyökeres over the line. I think that's sort of where everybody's at now. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. This season, next season, either this season or next season, yes, we have to win the title. Then, yes, judge him because then he's built his squad.
Yeah, I think you're in for a big season. I do. Gyökeres, I think, is the key.
Yeah,
if he can get 20 goals plus, bingo. But the squad-wise, you keep them two centre backs together.
They've had a good squad, I mean, and they've been able to sustain and get the Champions League spots. But I think the biggest thing for them now is that he's just said there he's had to build a squad. Now he's had, I think it's for 5 years. This is his 6th season, but I think. Will he be under pressure if he doesn't win a trophy this year, if he doesn't finish at least in the Champions League and he's not contending, in the last 2 or 3 games? I think that's going to be a big thing.
What they have got is, I don't know if you're aware, they've got a real tough start, Arsenal. First 6 games, really tough. Now, though, are Newcastle out of the woods regarding Liverpool's interest in this man?
Down to Isak, it's a second goal. It's another goal for Newcastle United. It's converted from 10 yards out by Alexander Isak.
I genuinely feel that I'm hoping, fingers crossed, this is not Isak out the door, because that would be the concern.
He's been the best centre forward probably in Europe, I think. I genuinely mean that. I think he's been terrific.
Arne Slot will want to get rid of Núñez, so I think Isak will fit in perfectly at Liverpool.
Ball given away to Isak. There's his goal. Alexander Isak.
Yeah, Isak played a standing role in ending Newcastle's 56-year trophy drought, as well as qualification, of course, the Champions League in 2023 and last season. But Liverpool have been sniffing around the Swedish star. Could the Reds heap more misery on the toon, having already seemingly stolen Ekitike from the clutches? Join us now for more on Isak's future. By all accounts, he wants $300,000 a week. If I was Newcastle, I'd be giving that. And a whole lot more in the transfer market. talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. Morning, Crookie.
Morning, Crookie.
Good morning, boys.
We're hearing this rumour that's what his demands are, $300,000 a week. Alex, you think he's going to get it? Would you give him it?
Listen, I think if you've got the money, I think he's worth every penny. I think he sees himself as one of the top strikers in the Premier League. I think alongside Mo Salah, he was the outstanding player in the Premier League last season. We know the type of ways that Mo Salah commands. I think Isak will look at that and think, yeah, I want a piece of that as well. But Newcastle are a little bit hamstrung by PSR. They also don't want to smash their pay structure. They'd have to give Alexander Isak that kind of contract. They are trying to tie him to a new deal, but I don't think they can go as high as $300,000 a week. And there's a little bit of an issue as well in that he was promised a bumper new contract when Amanda Staveley was part of the decision-making process. She obviously left the football club. And the word coming out of the Isak camp is that Paul Mitchell, no longer the sporting director, sort of reneged on that when he came in and said, you know what, you've got a few years left on your deal. This is not a priority. I think Isak felt a bit disrespected by that. Does that mean he'll leave this summer, Newcastle fans? I don't think so. Not for Liverpool anyway. There's obviously talk of Saudi Arabia as well, and maybe that would be more palatable for Newcastle. But Eddie Howe wants to keep him. The owners are determined to keep him. And I think they realise that without Alexander Isak, their chances of getting back in the Champions League next season, their chances of going deep in that competition are certainly going to be a lot slimmer.
What else you got for us, Alex? Any late stuff just come in last night, late or early this morning?
Well, we should talk about Jan Wisser and Newcastle. He has left Brentford's pre-season tour of Portugal, where I am at the moment, and that is because Newcastle have had one offer rejected. They're preparing, we're told, a second bid in excess of £30 million. Now, this is another difficult situation for Brentford because obviously Brian Mbeumo has already been sold for big money. It's my understanding that Keith Andrews, newly appointed manager there, has told the board, look, we can't afford to lose both Mbeumo and Wisser, but it does sound like the player has had his head turned, and obviously Newcastle can offer Champions League football. So I think this is going to be a tough one for Brentford to swallow. He's pushing for the move, and I think for Newcastle, obviously they've signed Elanga, but they've missed out on a lot of targets. I think it's quite an important deal now for them to get over the line.
Alex, Portugal, Algarve is just a little freshener up for glorious Goodwood, is it?
Yeah, just a little, well, I was going to say detox, but it's not really that because the Sagres has been going down quite nicely. But yeah, preparation for a couple of days with you next week, Al.
We'll look forward to it. Can't wait. But thank you, Crookie. Have you been down there, Kev? Glorious Goodwood?
No, I've never been there, no.
Beautiful.
Never been invited, Al.
It is wonderful. Well, you're busy now, you can't. I mean, it is stunning. It really is.
Yeah, no.
It's a great few days down there.
I do enjoy your commentary of it, shall I say, every morning when you're saying you're looking out on it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You see the mist coming up in the morning, the sunrise and everything else.
And then you go over the back,
for
a little glass of Whispering Angel, and then over the back you see the Isle of Wight. It really is a great part of the world.
Venue,
and the racing's great, and it's unusual. The track, the undulations, the sweeping turn down the hill. You come round that final bend into the straight. If you're not anywhere or near about, forget it.
Yeah, okay.
You have to come wide all the way.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, no. So it's unique. You need to know. You need a horse who can handle it, and you need a jockey who knows what he's doing. Right, Alan, the Arsenal fan, has got the people going this morning. 03 717 22 3344. We'll hear from a Manchester City fan. What about City? No one's talking about City, are they? Who thinks all they do is make excuses for Arteta. That's coming next. 17 minutes past 9 o'clock. Kevin Nolan alongside me. Right. Let's head straight back to the phone lines now. Mikel Arteta said that they have 8 title rivals for next season. Is that an excuse? Adrian Durham seems to think so. Whereas Alan, the Arsenal fan, says Arteta needs more respect because they only missed out on the title last year due to injuries. Well, what does Alan, the Liverpool fan, think? He's called us this morning. Good morning, Alan.
Morning, Al.
Morning, fellas. How you doing?
Very, very good, Al.
Good, mate. How are you?
It's an interesting one. I think Kev and I are both disagreeing. There's not 8 teams can win the Premier League. Surely not.
There's 3, isn't there? Possibly Chelsea.
Yes,
Chelsea
correct.
came out with a few dodgy statements last year as well. You can see his backside twitching. He spent a lot of money. He's wasted a lot of money. I don't think he's a great coach. I don't think a lot of people have improved underneath him. And ultimately, he probably knows that he's not going to win the league this year. So he's out there, isn't he, with them dodgy statements before the Premier League's even started.
Al, are you happy the way Liverpool have gone about the transfer market? Do you think Liverpool are the team to beat again this year?
I think we are. Yeah, I think hopefully the lad from Palace comes in as well at centre half. And then I wouldn't say no to Diaz and Núñez walking out the door and Isak coming in as well. I think the money's there. Go and spend it when you're on top and go and dominate. That's what Man City were good at doing. There's no reason why we can't go and dominate for a couple of years if Isak walks in the door as well.
Do you think that could happen with them getting Ekatike as well, Al?
It's a push, isn't it, Kev? Yeah. But I'm looking at it thinking, if we went and got Isak and we won the league again, you don't necessarily need to go and spend big next year.
Yeah.
So in that sense, if you look at PSR over a 3-year period, you could go and blow the bank, and then next year you're sort of saying to Arnie, look, there won't be as many big deals coming in next year. You know what I mean? We'll keep it topped up, but ultimately you wouldn't need to. When you look at the average age of the squad, it'd be brilliant.
Yeah, yeah.
Buying people like Vert. I mean, Vert is a destroyer. Isak. He's done wonders in the Premier League, to be fair to him, last year. You just imagine him in a Liverpool shirt and you just think, oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
We'll see, Al, in the next few days, we'll see if it's going to happen or not. What about City fans have been very quiet? What about Ian, a Manchester City fan? Good morning, Ian.
Morning, Ian.
Morning, guys. Great show again.
Good man.
Thank you.
It seems to be a regular occurrence, this conversation every summer about Mikel Arteta. He comes up every summer with why he's not going to win the league and lack of players. I think Kev, who's with you now, you know yourself when you've been around squads and what have you, Kev, that you rotate in certain games, the so-called lesser teams and what have you. You rotate your squads. Mikel has never done that. He's worn the team out, and you could see that halfway through last season, they were on the knees, and he kept putting out the same team. The ideal one was Saka, that he physically just wore him out until he got an injury, and then he was sidelined. I mean, there must be guys sat on the side thinking, what do I have to do to get into this team?
The problem is, I think Saka wants to play every game. He's pleading for me. No, don't leave me out. I'm fine, but play me.
But there's certain games, you know yourself, Al, where you say, look, we'll put you on the second 45 or something or whatever. We'll just rest you up a bit because we've got bigger challenges ahead. But
yeah. Ian, just a quickie defensively, City again look a little bit, especially crosses in the box. Are they going to deal with that?
I totally agree with you, Alan. I totally agree. I think it's something he's looking at now. I'd love a new Kyle Walker, whether he's got one in mind or he's going to rotate people down that right-hand side. I don't know, but it's certainly, crosses, corners, free kicks, all the City fans know that we're a little bit vulnerable in that area.
Yeah,
so.
It's going to be another big season, Ian. Don't worry, you'll be up there. I'm pretty sure of that. Right, here we go. Time now for a bit of this.
I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away. Ricochet, you take your aim. Far away. You shoot me down, but I'm a ball. I am titanium.
Yep, you can't beat a bit of titanium, but why are we playing it? Well, we're talking darts now. And Stephen Bunting, a big red, booked his place in the quarterfinals of the World Match Play darts last night. A brilliant victory over Gary Anderson. We got a bit of audio? Ed? No, we haven't. Okay, so Stephen Bunting managed to squeeze past Gary in a nail-biting scenes after the game. It went to sudden death. Early in the match, Stephen came so close to a memorable Winter Gardens 9-darter, but narrowly missed a double 12 on his last shot. Great pleasure to be able to say a very, very good morning to the man himself. Stephen, a very good morning. Congratulations, Stephen.
Morning, Stephen.
Good morning,
Congrats,
guys.
mate.
Thank you very much.
Stephen, do you think you'd nailed the 9-darter? Do you think you'd got it?
Yeah, obviously, when you hit the treble 19 and you're thrown for the double 12, that's the easy part, to be fair. It's the 8 darts before that are the hard ones, and yeah, I bottled it.
I'm not sure you did.
Nah.
Gary, he sometimes annoys me, Gary. He's too good a loser sometimes. Smiles, pats in the back and all that. But he's still some player, isn't he, Gary? And you've knocked him out.
Yeah, he's a legend of our sport. He's obviously won that title before, and it was always going to be a difficult game. I've got massive respect for Gary, and yeah, thankfully I was able to find the inner belief to be able to get over the line, and yeah, it was a great victory for me.
Just on that, Stephen, I read somewhere that he said that the new up-and-coming lads are all boring now. What did you think about that? Did you have a little bit of a chat with him afterwards saying you're not that boring, you know?
I mean, I think he was referring to like the likes of Littler and that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm 40 now, so I can't.
Well, we're still young, mate. We're still young. Yeah, we're still young. Don't start saying we're old
Well,
yet.
how does he do it, Littler? I know. And
Yeah.
listen, he's just, I don't know if he's just a phenomenon, but, you know, players like yourself just banging away in the practice before big games, and he's playing with either his phone or his laptop or whatever. His tablet.
He does things different, and obviously I like to get into the practice room maybe 3.5, 4 hours before, make sure I'm mentally focused for the game, keep on the practice board and keep yourself ready for the game. And you get in there and Luke Littler will get there probably 2 hours before, he'll be sat on his phone, he'll probably have 20 minutes throw, and then he'll go and average 110, and you're like, he does everything that you're told not to do when you're a kid growing up and playing.
Unbelievable. So you got the ferret next, Johnny Clayton.
Yeah, no, that'll be another difficult game. We're really close in the rankings. I think 4 and 5 at the minute. And he's a cracking player, really good friend of mine, big Liverpool fan as well, like me. So,
is he Liverpool? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've had lots of banter over the years. We've played some great matches together. I think I had the upper hand in the last one we played. And I'm going into it confident. It's best of 31 now, first to 16. So, yeah, I've got a day off today. I'll recuperate from the draining game last night, and I'll be ready for tomorrow.
Stephen, what about just on Liverpool? How do you see Liverpool the team to catch again this year?
Yeah, I believe so. Obviously, we've brought in some really good signings, freshen the squad up. Isak, if we can get him over the line, I think that's the one that all the Liverpool fans want to see. Like the guy before said, I wouldn't mind if Diaz and Nunez left and we got Isak. I think that would be a perfect replacement. And yeah, we'll just see how we go. If Gueye can come in as well, that's improving the back line as well. So, yeah, there's lots of positives. Everyone in Liverpool's really buzzing and can't wait for the season to start, to be fair.
Real sad news with Joey Jones as well. I didn't realise Joey was ill and with the horrible news he's passed. So, Joey was a proper Welshman, Wrexham, Liverpool. It's such a shame.
Yeah, no, it is. And obviously we talk about Diego Jota as well, and I had the fortuitousness to meet him as well. So yeah, it's such a sad time for Liverpool fans. Obviously, Joey Jones was a legend as well, and yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with all the family.
Stephen, good luck against Johnny. Thank you very much, and good luck in the tournament. Brilliant.
Good luck, Stephen. Well done, mate.
Thank you very much.
There you go, Stephen Bunn. That won't be easy though, Johnny Clayton. No. The big events, he can turn it on.
Yeah. And he has done over the years and everything else. But, you know, obviously with Stephen being a Liverpool fan around from whereabouts I am.
Where are you from in Liverpool? What
I'm
part?
Toxteth.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. born and bred talk stuff.
You started all them rights, did you?
I was born in them, so that's why. Yeah.
Where's Robbie from?
Robbie's from round the corner from me.
Is that
So
right?
him and his dad, my dad, were really good friends. Played in the same Sunday League side and played a lot together. Yeah. So
Mickey Quinn, is he?
Yeah, Mickey's the other side. I think. I don't think he's the South End side. I'm not too sure actually. He's obviously a bit older than me, Quinny.
Yeah, a lot older.
Yeah.
Coming up, we're finally going to get the bottom of why Daniel Dubois lost to Usyk. Was he underprepared? Can you believe that? I'm not sure I'm having this. Did he not want to be in the ring, or was he just outclassed? We'll discuss that one next. 9:33, talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the best UK used car deals guaranteed. Kevin Nolan alongside me. Just heard there, darts legend, huge Liverpool fan. Stephen Bunting says he still wants Isak on the door. Isak is currently training by himself, we believe, and reportedly wants a new contract worth 300 grand a week. So does that mean he could be on his way out? The number to call, 03717223344. Gary's a Newcastle fan, and Gary wants to have his say. Good morning, Gary.
Morning, Gary.
Morning, lads. How are
you? Good, Gary. What do you make of all this, Gary?
Mate, I'm a bit annoyed, to be honest, with talkSPORT. It's like a conspiracy theory to get Isak out of Newcastle. It was Arsenal last year. It's Liverpool this year. The lad's not for sale. It's as simple as that. The clubs came out and said it. The chairmans came out and said it. He's not for sale.
Gary, sometimes it's not as simple as that. If the problem is, Gary, if the player wants to go, as Kevin will tell you, players have more power now than they've ever had. And if he wants to go tools down, I hope he doesn't, right? And I mean that, I hope he doesn't. But Gary, if he's made his mind up and he's had a fallout, there's every chance that, he could work his way out of it.
Totally, mate. Totally agree. But he's never came out and said he wants to be away. Yeah, he's training by himself because I've heard that he's got a slight thigh strain and he's working his way back to fitness. But I think wholeheartedly he won't leave this summer window. And I think the speculation around him is getting a little bit boring now regarding him. If he wants to go, no one's going to stand in his way. We can't.
Yeah, I mean,
he's our best player.
Yeah.
And if he wants 300 grand a week, you're kind of going to have to give him 300 grand a week.
Correct.
Correct. It's the speculation and the hearsay, this, that, and the other. We know nothing. We're just the outsiders looking in.
Yeah, Gary, look,
I don't think for 1 minute that he wants to leave Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open so too, Gary, because I think he's been tremendous for Newcastle, but not only that, Newcastle have been tremendous for him as well.
Yeah.
So, he's now reportedly wanting that 300 grand a week. Should he be given that? And also, what do you think about it? What's sort of the word around Newcastle about Johan Visser coming in? Is he coming in as a replacement, or is he coming in to join them? Because you normally hear a lot more up there than you do. But you've got to realise too, mate, is that he's a top. He's probably the top number 9 in Europe. There's going to be speculation around him as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and I get that, Kevin. I really do. It's just the fact that it's like a witch hunt to get him out the club, and it's annoying, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, I really do. But Gary, we're only reporting what we're hearing, mate.
Yeah.
And it's interesting you say he's got a thigh strain working his way back. Hopefully that is the case, and he's not got the hump,
Well, I said that earlier. There can be a number of reasons why he's on his own. As we've seen Harry Maguire team up later on. Obviously, people are going to speculate when they see him walk, all the players on one side of the field, and then he's just jogging around with a physio on his own. So, yeah, there's lots of. And
you say 3 weeks to the start of the season, so we'll see. Now, a lot has been made of a reported party at the Dubois family home just hours before Daniel's defeat to Usyk on Saturday. Daniel attended the party and even arrived late to Wembley, but his trainer Don Charles told talkSPORT yesterday that it's not the first time they've had people over before a big fight.
Daniel's friends and his father's friends were in the dressing room for the AJ dress for the fight. That energy is what gave birth to the energy that everybody witnessed in the ring walk, and we were victorious on that occasion.
So you tried to replicate it?
Correct. I would. I think you would. Put in the same position. If it worked for you the first time, it's highly likely you're going to replicate that. That's merely. There might have been more people granted for this second gathering. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
To get more energy. That would be the only thing. I'm a logical man. The only logical sense that why there was more people is to increase the volume, because it's the big. You're going to the AJ fight was big. This is even trumps it. I didn't think that was possible.
There you go, Don Charles there. He says, no. There was no Dubois party, instead a gathering, which also happened before the fight with Anthony Joshua. Kev, were there ever any sort of pre-game parties at any of your clubs in your playing day? I wouldn't say this was a party, would you?
No, I mean, no. I mean, that doesn't happen, Alan. I mean, I know a lot of people a long time ago used to go for a couple of pints before the game and stuff, but that didn't happen in my day. You know, that's a long time ago. So none of that, and I don't think you know, they had that was his biggest night, weren't it, against Anthony Joshua, and he won it, and no one sort of questioned them sort of pre-gatherings or however we want to call them. So for him to do it again on probably where he was going to be named undisputed if he won the title, so probably a bigger night than Anthony Joshua, why wouldn't you sort of replicate what made you and what fed you that amazing night of against Anthony Joshua? So yeah, I'm not for making excuses, and I hope Daniel's not, and I don't think he is. I think that's all speculation from what we've just been talking about, what we're hearing.
Right, let's get more on this and find out if the party really is to blame with former two-weight champion of the world. Delighted to welcome Carl Frampton to talkSPORT. Carl, good morning.
Morning, Carl.
Morning, boys. Morning.
Yeah, Carl, we're trying to get our heads around this. I'm not having it. Why would you go in with someone like Usyk and not prepare absolutely 110%? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Don Charles called it a gathering of people rather than a party, and that I imagine that's what it was. People making noise, maybe that's something that Daniel likes, a bit more of an entourage than me, for example. I like to keep it pretty quiet and just the close team around me approaching a fight. But I think the bigger issue for me here was that how late they arrived at the venue.
Yeah.
And everything was all just very, very rushed in the lead up to the biggest fight of Daniel's career. So whether you want to call it a party or a gathering, I mean, each their own really, but I think being late, an hour and a half late, or an hour and a half maybe until the fight started, it's enough time to get ready, but not for a fight of that magnitude, I don't think.
Interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it, Al? Because, Carl, you know, as footballers, we normally get there an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes, and then go into that. You obviously, we feed off each other. You are sort of in your own sort of mental state of how you want to. So why is it so important that you got there so early?
Well, I think that I for me personally, I like to get in. Go and have a look at the arena.
Yeah.
I actually used to go and touch the canvas to see if it was soft or hard. Like feel it with my hands, and then I'd chill out, listen to a bit of music, just relax a little bit, and then. But when you're getting your hands wrapped, depending on who's wrapping your hands, sometimes that can take an hour.
Really?
Especially if you've got an opponent from the other changing room coming in, who watches you wrap your hands, lets you finish, and then he says to get into your head a little bit, I'm not happy with them hand wraps. They need redone, and sometimes they have to be redone. So these are some of the small things that kind of goes on, and that's the big issue for me. Him arriving so late to the venue.
Interesting. Tony Bellew, right? And we love Tony's honesty. After the fight, he came in for criticism. This is Daniel from heavyweight boxer Tony Bellew. Tony claimed that Daniel doesn't look like he wants to be in the ring, and that he could have made the count after being knocked down if he wanted to. But Dubois promoter Frank Warren joined Drive yesterday and hit back at Tony Bellew. Have a listen.
Well, Tony Bellew's been a hater from day one with Daniel. He got knocked down twice. You know, in one hand, everybody's saying Usyk's a modern-day great. What great punches he threw, and on the other hand, saying why didn't he stand up after getting caught with these two phenomenal punches, which he did after one of them, got up and got knocked down again. What do you expect? The referee counted him out. He walked back to the corner. That was it. Why did he walk back to the corner? Well, where is he supposed to go after the referee stops? Go to a neutral corner or go to Usyk's corner? What planet are all these people on? You know, it's just so pathetic. I find it. I've got sometimes I look and hear what people are saying, and I just find it baffling.
Yeah, interesting, Carl. Frank, he's got a couple of good points there, hasn't he? Or not? Where's he meant to go?
Well, yeah, I get that, but I mean, and I'm friends with both guys here, so I've got to be careful what I'm saying. I mean, Frank and Tony, but I know they don't have the greatest respect for each other. But it was just I get what Tony's saying, because you know the shot landed. It was a massive shot. It was a big shot. I mean, I was even surprised that he got to his knee, but as soon as the referee 10, he stands up and walks to the corner. So I can see what Tony's saying, but I can also see what Frank's saying as well. But look, Daniel was in with a great, like an all-time great, in my opinion.
That's what I was just going to say, Carl. I mean, are we just taking away from how good Usyk is? You know, because no matter how much we're sort of trying to, you know, pinpoint something which was wrong with Daniel, are we sort of taking away how good this fighter he was in the ring with?
Yeah, I mean, he's incredible, really is. We're watching something here that's, like, in my opinion, I'm not over exaggerating here. It's like if you were lucky enough to see Maradona, in the flesh, or Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods. That's how good this guy is. He's a living legend in my eyes.
Daniel, where next for Daniel now? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Where does he go now? Does he take on Parker or?
Well, he's still young enough. I would like Joe Parker should get the Usyk fight. Joe's been waiting in the sidelines for quite a while now, and he deserves it more than anyone else. But there is fights for Daniel, but he's young enough. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind Daniel can become a world champion again at some point in his career. The amount of experience he's got for a 27-year-old kid, he's already been a world champion. He's had a lot of trials and tribulations in his career as well, and I would like him just to, not to rebuild or anything like that, but maybe one or two fights that you expect Daniel to win, go and blow a few guys away, and then start looking at the big names again, because he's got his time on his side. And he's got bags of experience now, even as a 27-year-old lad. So the heavyweight division, these guys can go on to their 40. You know what I mean? There's at least 10 good years left in Daniel Dubois.
Yeah. Talking about kids as well, we're a long way in front of him. Young Moses, who's, for me, is just spectacular. I
think the only thing we don't know yet is what it's like. I think the only thing we don't know yet is what it's like when he gets hit on the chin. But that's not his fault, because he's getting rid of guys so quickly and so concisely. Just the way he moves and his shot selection and his combination punching, and he's a real student of the game for a young lad. I mean, he's 19. It's hard to believe he is 19. But he's a grown boy when you put it in that sense, and he's only going to get better. So he is, no doubt in my mind, going to be a superstar of the heavyweight division at some point very soon.
I couldn't agree more. Carl, thank you for your time this morning, Carl Frampton.
Thanks, Carl.
Right, what next for Daniel? It'll be interesting, we'll find out. Elsewhere in the world of boxing, this Saturday sees a boxing doubleheader, both sides of the Atlantic. British titles are on the line as Garner takes on Bellotti live from Bournemouth. And 5-weight world champion, undisputed heavyweight champion, Clarissa Shields defends all her titles against 2-weight champion Lainey Daniels over in Detroit. Live only in DAZN. Sign up at DAZN.com/boxing.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
10 minutes to 10. talkSPORT Breakfast. Alan Brazil, former West Ham coach, current Northampton Town manager, Kevin Nolan. Kevin, people are saying that AI has been used more and more in coaching and management. AI in football, does that happen?
Well, I think there's a lot of data stuff coming out and coming into it now, more than you've ever seen. And it's going down. You know, a lot of clubs are taking these sort of methods in, and it's coming a lot from the American sports. You know, because there are a lot of American owners now and who joining the leagues and stuff, so they're bringing all their sort of data and AI stuff into it. It's really interesting.
But like what? You know.
So for instance, they'll put a player's name in. They'll see what he's done in the league. They'll then say what he will be worth, and so when we're going in and sort of now having a look and saying, okay, what's this player worth? They will have a sort of a valuation which this company's come up with, and they sort of rule off that really now. Whereas, you know, from our eye, we'll go, well, he's worth 150k. You know, this company's going, no, he's worth 350k, and this is what you should be looking at. And so it is interesting. You know, some of it you'll sort of bat away, but then some of it will be good. I
can't stand how many passes he made. You know, anyone can pass the ball 10 yards to his right or left. Not create anything, never give the ball away.
Yeah, and you know, these are the things what you sort of, when you're looking at all these data analysts and everything else, is when I'm speaking to my analysts and my recruiting guys and we're looking at players, it's like, okay, let's take all the pass out. What's his key passes like? What's the through passes? But then when you're actually looking at the ones who are actually putting them for, what is a key pass? What is a through pass? What do you see it as? Because we'll see it as something different to what, you know, an analyst or someone, you know, off the street or a fan will see.
The guy with your own eyes.
And then that's probably what's been taken out of it because of it's so hard now to get to watch games because you're either playing on the same day or, you know, if you're not, the amount of work what you have to do in and out. So
are scouts out the window now?
Yeah, no, we've still got scouts. We employ scouts still with us, and obviously you've got to take their eye and then you get the final say. But a lot of it is now due to a lot of watching visually on.
All right, what about
game.
A director of football then?
What about it?
Well, if you get no, maybe not.
You're trying to have a go, get me to have a go at directors of football.
Directors of football.
Yeah.
They're making all the decisions whether we sign someone or not, surely.
Yeah, I think it's important that when you go in, you sort of know your role. If you're going to be the coach and you're going to allow someone to sort of pick the players for you to then coach, there's a lot of you know, new coaches now, new people who want that, who don't want to have the sort of the distraction of all the other stuff what goes off the field. So director of footballs take that away from you. I like to be very much involved and know what's going on the day-to-day basis, but not only that, you want to know what you know, how you're sort of going to plan for the future and what you want to do, you know, moving forward. So there's pros and cons to it, but I think it's important as a coach, as a manager, that you have an understanding with your director of football, no matter what, you know, whether he's been appointed by the club or whether he's been appointed.
Have you got a director of football?
Yeah, well, that's Colin Calderwood, if you like. He's probably that sort of that title in ours, but I've used him more as an assistant manager, but he is still doing a lot of the work behind the scenes for me, which is helping me
as well,
so probably. Does a lot of the scouting, a lot of the work, speaking to agents about players coming in. So he takes up a number of roles, Colin, and that helps me with, you know, sort of focusing on the pitch and focusing on the team and everything else. And I think he's enjoying the role what I've given him in terms of being the assistant and doing a lot of work on the grass as well. So.
And academies, have you got an academy?
We have, yeah. We've got under 18s, yeah, and we have, yeah. And it's so tough, all because of the money what you've got to sort of find for these academies now, and we don't have any digs, so we have to sort of pinpoint everybody from Northampton who can get in, which again is difficult because you find that a lot of the players or the top players, they'll go obviously off to the Premier League and the Championship clubs, and then what we have to do is then scout and make sure that we're ready for them coming out of there if they're released by them clubs. Well, they do a fantastic job, they do the academy. So it's just something I'm getting my teeth into now, and we'll just keep pushing to get better, and as I say, and keep pushing boundaries with the owners and the you know, the chairman.
03717 223344. We've been taking your calls all morning. Gary, the Newcastle fan, says there's no way Isak wants to leave the North East. But what do Liverpool fans think? Let me take a quick one. Lee, the Liverpool fan. Lee, morning.
Morning, Lee.
Morning, Alan. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Lee. I'm good.
I've got inside information. Nunez is going, Dad is going, and we're getting Isak from Newcastle.
Wow.
100%.
Well, to be honest, he's training his own, and we can't work out, Lee, whether that's because he wants this move to Liverpool or whether he's recovering slightly from a thigh problem.
He don't make you train with the kids, do you? Let's be honest. He wants 300 grand a week. Newcastle aren't giving him that, so that he just wants to go.
Yeah.
He wants to win. He wants to win the Champions League with Liverpool.
Well, Lee, we should find out soon, I hope, because it's murder when things drag on and drag on and drag on. And he's not going to come out and say, I want to leave, because if it falls through, it makes him look a fool. So that's why he's not saying anything. He's just keeping he's keeping it tight. Yeah. What about, and from a Newcastle perspective, Lee, thank you. Derek's a Newcastle fan. Morning, Derek.
Morning, Derek.
Good morning, gentlemen. We've had two Liverpool supporters on there, and both of them, the self-entitlement and the idea that Alexander Isak is wrapped up and ready for Liverpool Football Club, I'm afraid they're under some sort of big illusion. And I'll tell you for why. There's a great big elephant in the room, and that elephant is the Saudi syndicate who bought Newcastle United. They bought that club. Within 2 days of buying it, the usual suspect got together, gathered a few rules, sorted it all out. Newcastle United, like Gulliver, woke up, tied up with chains, couldn't move and still can't move. And now these people are trying to take. I just hope that he goes to Saudi.
Derek, thank you. I personally wouldn't want him going to Saudi, but I understand people don't want him playing against Newcastle in the Premier League. I understand that as well.
Yeah, but you want to see the best players in this league, don't you?
Yeah,
and I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah, I think Newcastle have got with what Chelsea have done when you see them selling off the hotel, selling off the ladies' team, selling off the stadium rights. I think Newcastle have still got scope to do this. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next year or so. Well, because they've got scope to do that and earn a bit of money to help them with the PSR and help them then maybe go out and spend the money what Chelsea have done over the last 2-3 years, so interesting times now for Newcastle, especially with the putting pressure on this Isak move.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, I think we're just about done. You enjoyed that?
I have, mate. Yeah, it's been nice to see you. Good. It's been a long time, mate.
Well, I know, but I'm going to watch Northampton's results now.
I appreciate that, mate.
It's a tough old start, though, isn't it? The first two, Wigan and Bradford, you say?
Listen, they're all tough starts, aren't they? You never get an easy ride. And look, I'm just really looking forward to them. I'm honoured to be back into it. It's really good working with Kelvin really closely and trying to get, trying to build a side now which is going to be, managing, quite comfortably in League One, and that's the aim for this year. So really looking forward to it. Yeah, got my teeth right back into it and enjoying it thoroughly.
Well, good luck.
Thanks, mate.
I'll be back again tomorrow alongside Dean Saunders from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. But don't go away, please. Sam and Simon coming next on talkSPORT.